くるっぽ。Hentai prison.
All right, welcome back. We're gonna continue where we left off in Hentai prison. Wasn't able to do this last night. So tired last night. Holy shit. But we have some time today, at least an hour or two, if we're lucky. Let's get started. No.
起床起きろ変態懲役ども
起きるか修一郎
Yeah. Dear sister mine, it has been almost a week since my incarceration in this prison.
牢から出て整列しろ速やかに貴様ら HQ どもは我々が時間を管理してやらねば何もできないグズだ
I've gotten rather used to life here.
何
Sirens ring at 6 in the morning. We had to be standing in front of our cell bars within 3 minutes. A bit of an unpleasant smell invades my nostrils as we incarcerate all snap into action. By incarcerated, I mean prisoners. Also call us inmates or convicts here in the facility grounds. When the cells are unlocked, the guards take a look around in every cell. Everything in the prison has to be well organized.
おいなんだこの乱雑に畳んだ布団は正常な心を取り戻すにはまず部屋を清くすること何度も言っているだろう
はい申し訳ありません
I was praised for properly folding up my sheets. Really, anyone would pick up tidy habits after 3 days down here. I almost miss hearing you scold me for having a messy room.
タンポポ組変態進め
Here in the prison, they call us in the obscenity ward the dandelions. Sex crimes ward folks are called sunflowers, and those in serious offenses ward are the
貴
tulips.
様らのごとく年がら年中寝ても覚めても男性器のことばかり考えて爆笑している人間など性犯罪者を除けば幼稚園児と少年漫画家しかいない
In my artists. Okay. By the way, most of the guards in charge of us have nicknames. The prisoners generally come up with them based on how they look or act. The guards themselves had no idea, of course.
しかし園児には純真な心があり少年漫画家は園児と同じだそれがどうだ貴様らは現役の少年はほとほと腐りきっている
I feel bad for the shonen manga artists. Everything goes short in here. They go inmates, thickmates. That's what we get called in here sometimes.
ここにいる間に清い心を取り戻すように足を上げて一物そのまま 1,2,1,2
When we have a guard ordering us, we had to move around in lines. We had to keep a certain distance from whoever is in front of us, keep our fingers straight, and take high steps.
おいスイカの名産地が来るぞ
貴様なんだその手は指先が曲がっているのはふぬけてる証拠じゃないのか
What barely has to lift a finger to aggravate the guards?
それとも手満欲求の表れかあそこに指を入れたいという欲望を受け取った神経が指をそんな形に変えさせたのだとすればこれは看過できんことだな
違いだ
園児にも少年漫画家にも劣る品性下劣なケツをチンポ性犯罪者が
But nothing earns their ire quite like talking back. It's tough in here, but mealtimes keeps my spirits up.
はい B 等職次あんたは
B, please. There's an A set and B set. A set is for those who stand on the job, and it has a bit more rights than the other.
はい B 等職次は後が使えてるんだからシャッシャといいのよ
Other prisoners make the food. Most of the caretaking and cleanup is done by prisoners here. You can sit wherever you like, but you get yelled at if you sit too far from anyone. The space will only fill us all if we pack it logically.
それでは喫食
Breakfast begins every morning at 7. When you get used to it, the food here is surprisingly tasty. That said, it is a little light on the flavor side. It makes me miss the curry you always made. Aside from the A and B sets, I hear there's paste-like food for senior prisoners. Everything on the menu is pretty decent. To prisoners with no other entertainment, mealtime is precious.
おい、こっちは立ち仕事でこんなんじゃ足りねえんだ。デザートをよこしな。はい。
You might want to steal or trade your food since it's tasty, but this is a trap.
貴様ら食事の交換を行ったな。それは不正授受にあたる行為だ。
けど、わしはもう食べられません。捨てるくらいなら食べたい人にあげても。
担当公弁を行ったな。この私にクズはおとなしくルールに従えよ。
It gets you beat down.
終了。各作業員は準備に取り掛かれ。
At 7:30, breakfast ends. We tidy up our tableware and put leftovers in the buckets. Apparently, they have pigs here that they feed them too.
先生、テーブルと椅子の清掃が終わりました。
Finally, another sprite character. That's a prisoner. True to the grounds, I imagine we all look like livestock.
0858番。いつもご苦労だな。
Some prisoners call the guards boss.
先生。
Bot. They use sensei for bot. But never mind. I'm not sure why officer went to, but it seems to be a custom.
だってよ、ごますりのクソモリがまだ
Prisoners who brown nose the guards are seen as suck-ups and despised by their peers.
朝から耳障りな
Next, we have to line up and head to our workstations.
やっていくから
Work starts at 8.
気持ち
You
悪い。
really want to take care of what you need to before then.
用弁願います。
There are rules about using the bathroom too. Wait, I need to double check something. I made some certain changes recently. Yeah. Okay, we're good. I was just checking something. Those who wish to go first form a line. Then you undo your crotch button and wait for your turn.
トイレ宣言はどうした？
When you go into a stall, you have to announce it to the officer on duty. Excuse me, bathroom please. Even when you have to make it to the old bathroom style squat toilet, you can't quite take your time and do your business. Punishment awaits you if you're even slightly late. Tulip prison is supposed to be famously strict about time, and the shoe fits.
あと3分で移動開始だ。
They're pretty harsh when it comes to scheduling here. You get yelled at for being even a few seconds late. Everything has to go according to the calendar you're supposed to get at the start of the month. On your way to your workstation, you had to pass by the inspection room. You find your jacket among the mass of rackets in the room. You're seen as on the job while you wear the jacket, and you're not allowed to break with it on. Then you have to stand in front of the white line drawn in front of the guard on duty and stay still. Number 0720.
よし、口を開けろ。
We do this can dance so they can see we don't have anything against regulations on us.
今日もいいバカ面だぞ。0720番。そうやって加え込んで逮捕されたのか、談笑が。行け。
Thank you, ma'am. Some will thank the guards for making them humiliate themselves in this fashion, but no one will complain. Everyone in the Tulip prison says not to think too much about pain. About the shame. That's probably the secret to living here. Our workstations are decided by the internal council. Before getting in prison, I remember being taken to a room with a bunch of older people behind a long desk. They look at your aptitude and pick out an appropriate workplace. Cooks or dietitians, for example, will go to the kitchen. It's a very popular job. Not only do you get snacks, but you get to bathe every day due to hygiene concerns. I was assigned to the paper room, where you make paper and stuff. It's not popular, but not hated either.
よし、そろそろだと見える。変態手こすり始め。
At 7:55, the sound of rubbing fills the room. This is a custom we do after reports to warm up our hands and prevent injuries.
怪我のないようしっかり摩擦するように手以外のものをシコシコこすりたいなどと考えれば懲罰棒にぶち込んでやるぞ。それでは作業開始。
At 8 o'clock on the dot, work starts. We make notebooks and other stationery here. They call them prison-made goods, and I hear they are quite cheap on the general market. If you bought a notebook recently, it just might be what I made. My job is going to get a piles of cut paper into a book-like shape. It's very simple. However, you have to be careful about everything you do in the paper room.
マンチカンってエッチな犬じゃないのか。
The facility has an extensive and restricted code of conduct. The officers are always checking to make sure no one is acting in violation. Wait, it zoomed into a sign. I don't know what that sign means. What? I don't know, man. Probably not that important, but they should. If they're gonna zoom into something, you know, they should translate it. Whatever. If you blow it down here, first you'll get yelled at.
勝手にタオルで汗を拭くなどと一体どういうつもりで。
Simply wiping your sweaty brow with a towel will have you charged with illicit wiping.
罰として貴様は給金減額処分、余暇時間没収だ。次やったら懲罰棒を覚悟しておけ。
The general punishment for violations is a docking of pay. Our pay isn't that much to begin with. A new prisoner, a 10th class worker, has a pay of about 1,070 yen per month. Man. Holy shit. Damn it, man. Per month. Even a much more skilled first class worker only gets a monthly salary of 7,600 yen. Well, man. We get our first break when work calms down around 11 o'clock. But that's no time to drop your guard.
無論、休み時間だからといっても、隠語などを口にすることは許されていない。
The guards know how much the prisoners loosen up when away from their workstation.
ペニス、チンコ、チンポ、おチンポ、バギナ、おまんこ、トロトロのあそこ、濡れそぼった三つつぼ、マーガレットなど、あらゆる隠語を一切禁句だ。
You know what? I really wish that every word she just said, I could associate. So I could, you know how about learning about a foreign language, and one of the first few things you should be learning are all the fucking words like these. Anyway. If you let a dirty word slip because no one's watching, a guard will come out of nowhere to get you. Once I overheard a prisoner talking about a famous anime. It was one you're fond of, Nesan.
さまあ、今私はチンコですと言ったな。変態の分際で国際化かグローバルドスケベ、地球環境問題がより深刻なようだな。貿易摩擦は特殊な G 方法のことじゃないんだぞ。
Fuck. I've learned that Isano Katsuo is apparently super dirty in Italian. What? Mundane blunders like these are met with a variety of punishments. They vary in intensity, but let me go over a few. The walk of shame.
ペースが遅れているぞ。その粗末な男性器をなくしたくなければしっかり走れ。
A rope is tied around the prisoner's genitalia, forcing them to run and keep up with the guard on the Segway. To fall behind is to feel incredible pain, and many fear it for leaving men with true philosophy. One's lowered head will never see the light of day again. Face. What?
ほらほら、苦しいか？こんなところを押し付けられて、いくら変態と言っても屈辱的だと思えるな。存分に苦しむがいい。
What? What's happening?
苦しくて臭い。
Guards use their characteristically thick buttocks. What? To block out the prisoner's respiratory system with a combination of pressure and stench. Stench? What? Wait a second. Isn't this like for so? Wait, this is sexual for some people. They will often accuse the prisoner getting aroused by face hitting. Oh, okay, there you go. So it's also an excuse for them to beat the crap out of them, I guess, leading to the next punishment. Untold, this is their intent from the start. Okay. Wait, why would they stink? Ooh. Exposure.
なんと不潔な真っ黒でブツブツだらけとはどれだけいじったらそうなる。
あんまりにも長く伸びすぎたし。なんか大変になってんじゃん。気持ち悪いんですけど。
The prisoner's nipples are looked at by guards, and they're forced to hear the opinions of that for a good 20 minutes. Man, wait, isn't that also good for some people who are into that sort of perverted shit? What the fuck? Then the Iron Maiden. That one is nothing but a punch to the head. Okay, this one's straight up punishment. This one's straight up punishment. But it's ironic because the last two, the second to the last and third were it got asexual for someone who's into that sort of thing. Anyway, after you take your jacket off at inspection, you're allowed onto the yard. We prisoners don't have any chances to get a good bit of sunlight. Hey, son, I'm sure you can imagine how painful it is to be robbed of that at that time. The facility generally has cloudy weather and sees frequent snowfall, so seeing the sun properly is a rarity. Still, you'll see people on the yard jogging or playing catch with the glove you can borrow. Most people here are divided into groups.
俺は外の世界では通りスペルマって呼ばれてたんだぜ。標的をこれと決めたら通りすがりに約 0.3 秒で射精。ギネスものの記録だぜ。
サドルって男性器と密着した部分でしょ。そんな卑猥なもの野放しにしてはおけなくて。人目を盗んで1000個は押収したわ。それを喉奥までぶち込むと最高でね。
Man, this is a co-ed facility. Well, this is rare for a correctional institution. I hear it's because this prison only houses sex criminals. They say it's to help them control their desires for the opposite sex. That said, even the new entries have found homes and groups of folks they get along with. I'm sure this won't surprise you, but I'm alone as usual. There is, however, someone else who's just as alone as I am.
あいつってなんだっけ。くそ、性的な名前じゃないから思い出せねえよ。
例の少女じゃよ。忘れません。わしは布っぽい女子の顔はすべて記憶しておる。
Most of the prisoners here have two names. Some got their nicknames from the police or the public prior to their arrest, while others picked them up in the facility. Oh, Noah. Nice. It also wears something special looking there. The older man pointed at the girl who looked a bit older than you.
ああ、そうだ。ドローンガールってニュースにもなった。
聞けば何千という男女を盗撮し映像を販売。その後違法アップロードされた盗撮映像を見て絶頂するという変態だそうじゃ。
何千？俺は何億人も盗撮してたって聞いたけど。
Crimes committed on the outside often seem to get exaggerated down here. Yes, son, you might have heard of a drone girl before. I haven't, but it seems she committed quite a crime. What are we focusing on, guys? I caught sight of her crouching at the foot of the building. Her stance looked full of intention. She looked a bit like the detectives who interrogated me. I was a little curious, but the bell announcing the end of the break rang. After that break comes lunch, and work immediately after. Prisoners eat lunch with their work teams. It's efficient since organization and movement takes up time. At 1 o'clock, work in the paper room begins again. On a normal day, we don't get any breaks until 6 o'clock. The deputy warden is always sitting at the desk in front of the room. Almost like a school teacher, really. Oh, she untied her hair. Nice.
マニュアル通りにやっていますというのはアホの言うことだ。各自頭を使って効率的な作業を心がけるように。
Another guard walks around us patrolling. She has what appears to be a pocket watch in her hand, and she's always jiggling its long chain. I had noticed how heavily the man next to me had been breathing since morning. He's been rubbing his thighs together, pushing his crotch against the desk, looking at the female prisoners with bloodshot, hungry eyes. The moment the guard turned her back, it happened. Oh no, we're not gonna make it, guys. A female prisoner working with a large strip of white paper in her lap fell clear out of her chair.
パンツだパンツを見せろもうパンツという光のない世界なんて耐えられない
The man started to lick the paper, drooling, slobbering all over.
様一体何をしている早くどけ
嫌だこんな暗闇もう耐えられないこれは僕のパンツだ光だもっと光を
地名パンティ異常者風情が
The man was almost twice Officer Yamagishi's side. When they began to grapple, it was clear that she would lose the contest of brute strength.
特別警備隊正式工場に急行せよ
The guards, though, aren't the only security the prison has. The man went flying, knocking aside a nearby chair. Yo, what the hell is this? There's a group called the SST, Special Security Team, that specializes in security putting down riots. Guards are nearly entirely women, but this team stands out as particularly special. They all wear masks and no one knows their faces. Nor do we know how many of them there are. This elicits even more fear among us prisoners. They don't move unless the guards call for them, but once they do, there's no stopping them.
工場入り口から出る真っ白
It was not just the sound of one gunshot that followed. 3, 4, 5. I think I heard it then before they stopped. They weren't actual bullets, but rubber ones. I hear they use special handguns made to stop riots and uprisings in the prison. The woman from the security team dragged the man far larger than herself off with one
お
hand.
前は何十時間もマンホールに潜んでパンツを盗み見ていた変態野郎だな白い髪をパンツと見間違えて興奮したのか弊社特有の変態め
僕はただ光を
黙れ異常者が山岸刑務官大田部警備隊筆頭こいつを懲罰房に連行しろあかしこまりましたシコレンコ監視長しなさい
The punishments I mentioned earlier are nothing really. Nothing compared to solitary confinement.
懲罰房待ってください懲罰房はあんな暗闇は勘弁してくださいよ
黙れよよくも自分を生娘のように手ごめにしてくれたな相関係数がどうなるか楽しみにしておけ
Nessa, have you ever thought it strange? Strange that some prisoners get released before their original sentences are up?
勘弁してくださいこれ以上刑期が伸びたら
This is all because of our sicko stores. The more well-behaved the prisoner, the lower their score goes. It goes down the longer you're in, and when it hits 0, you get out.
なら自分の性欲ぐらいコントロールするんだな早く連れて行け
Causing problems, however, makes your score go up. The higher the score, the more days are added to your sentence. There are even prisoners whose original sentences are long over, but are still behind bars because of their score. In a normal prison, breaking the law can extend your sentence. In Tula prison, however, violating the slightest part of the code of conduct extends your sentence. The system appears insane at glance, but Tula prison has a surprisingly high rehabilitation rate, with relatively many of its prisoners reintegrating into society.
嫌だ懲罰房は嫌なんだ
Those whose actions are out of bounds are sent to solitary confinement down below. I have not heard a word about what kind of place the solitary confinement cells are. Based on people's reactions, though, I can tell that they must be utterly awful. Much like lunch, baths are conducted with work teams. This is a luxury we get only once per few days. I know how clean you like to keep, Nasan, so I think you would have a rough time here. There's plenty of the prisoners are in and out of the bath The big tubs always have crime floating around in them. There are also strict rules surrounding bathing.
湯かけ
At the guard's call, we all dump the hot water from the bath onto our bodies. We're only allowed to use buckets twice per bath. We also only get 15 minutes in the bath proper. There's a board of lights over the guards' heads that alerts us of the time. They are aligned like traffic lights, and much like those, green means we get to enjoy our soak. We wash with the showers after this, but you need to be careful not to splash the water on the person next to you. I've seen people come to blows over accusations of splashing.
0781番カミソリ使用終わりました。
よし
If using a razor, you're required to show the blade is still attached before returning it. Shaving is strictly regulated as well. One is allowed only 2 centimeters of sideburns, and even beard shaves are strictly forbidden. Since I'm bald and don't sprout much facial hair, I get more time in the bath.
入浴終了3分前
The light shifting to yellow is the signal that there are only 3 minutes left. Turning red means it's time to get out, where we'll have to endure another few batless days. When it's 6 o'clock in the evening, the sun has started to set. We have another hour of break time. Working hours are kept to a strict 8 hours, and 7 hours on beating days. Get over that would violate labor laws, which they seem concerned about, so they keep our hours in check. 7 o'clock is dinner in the cafeteria for the whole facility. You get a sheet beforehand that tells you what is on the menu. I hear that kare and tonkatsu are quite popular.
今日はひじき煮と焼き魚。外れ日だわ。明日は何だって？
朝がふりかけと目玉焼きと牛乳、夜が春雨サラダと麻婆豆腐だってさ。
はあ、パン食の日が待ち遠しいわ。結局は人間って甘しゃりなわけ。
Most of the conversations I hear over meals are like that. What's tomorrow's meal? What's next at work? And so on.
クイズです。じいさんは今相関係数どれくらいでしょ
わしは0.013じゃったな。
う。ならストレートでも1年ちょっとじゃないか。俺はまだ0.053だから。
Scores and days left in sentences are also popular conversation topics. I don't hear anything too scary in the facility, really. I remember something my lawyer told me before I was incarcerated. Rape is common in prison, but completely absent over there. Tula prison is as clean as it gets. But remember, Nasan, this is a prison made up only of those society says can be rehabilitated.
こうして少しずつ外に出られる日が近づいているのを徐々に家畜みたいに理不尽な暴力にならされていくんじゃろうな。
Said someone a seat over. After dinner, we line up and head to our cells. Tula prison only has single occupant cells. I'm told this is to prevent prisoners from committing, acts of indecency with each other. There are a few different types of cells. Some prisoners, like the ones around me, only enter their cells at night. Some stay in their cells all day and at night. I hear theirs had TV sets in them. However, I hear those kinds of prisoners mostly aren't present in the facility. There are also maximum security prisoners, but I don't know much about them. But there are already prisoners who have to stay in their cells all day. How do you get more secure than that?
諸連絡は以上である変態ボーに入れ
When the reports that start around 8 o'clock end, the prisoners enter their cells. Though dark and dank, it's a space where one can finally be alone. By the way, toilet paper in the cells is extremely limited. Only get one roll at the start of the week, so you had to ration it well. I heard people murmur that's the reason for this slight reek that pervades the cell block. After stepping into our cell, you have to write in your rehabilitation journal. You get yelled at if you write anything weird or flippant there, so it demands seriousness. And those are the rules of Tula prison. Nesan, life here is much harder than I expected. I will look forward to the day I can see you again, and let that hope encourage me through my obligations here. So please, take care of yourself and give my best to Chima-chan and Lu-chan. Cordially yours.
鉛筆の回収です。終わっていたら預かりますよ。
I give my pencil and notebook to the lady, comes around rolling an old wooden cart.
書き終わった人は僕に声をかけてください。鉛筆の回収です。
In the end, I forgot how to spell cordially. I never actually written something proper in long form, so I don't know what to do about this journal. That's why I decided to write one big letter to my sister in parts. I hope I can bundle it up and send it to her one day.
それではショート
At 9 o'clock at night, it's time for bed. Saying even one word after lights out gets you punishment. I had no idea that just having the internet would be not having the internet would be this boring. I don't know. I don't think I messed around with my tablet that much. Being without the internet feels like I've been quarantined away from the world. There's nothing in the night but quiet. No. I can hear waves coming from... The facts of my life are clearest to me in these hours. Tulip Prison is a lonely island, and I am a prisoner. The slightest thing from the toilet sticks into my nose. It feels like I'll just pass a public restroom. Maybe it would be better if I just flush. Though to be honest, I started noticing it less and less since my first day here.
徐々に家畜みたいに理不尽な暴力にならされていくんじゃろうな。
He's probably right. I'll probably get used to it and be tame myself. There's no water. No matter how much I twist the faucet, no water comes out. The lights in all the cells immediately come on.
チャプター19だ。チャプター19が来たよ。
The prisoner on duty hisses out a warning to others in their cells.
0654番、0698番、0720番、0781番。
What the hell's gonna go? My number is called. And my cell is unlocked. As I tried to look around for hints on what to do, Captain Shikolenko enters my cell.
名乗れ。
0720 20.
よし、脱げ。
ん
チャプター19だ。今すぐ服を脱げ。
What do you...
忘れたか？このプリズンでは陰部摩擦を禁じており、最も重い罪となる。そのための抜き打ち検査だ。とっとと抜。
Alright, I'm back. I had to cut that. So what happened was they had a surprise inspection, and by surprise inspection, they're gonna jack them up to see if they jacked up. What the fuck? Alright, bro. Captain Shigolenko scoffs as she discards her glove in disgust.
お前は無罪放免だ。着席を許可する。0720番、異常なし。
So weird. They check if you masturbated by masturbating you. Seemingly to have lost all interest in me, Captain Shigolenko leaves my sorry, but that's his real name. Leaves my cell. So this is chapter 19, an irregular masturbation exam. Good to know.
0654番。異常なし。
0698番、異常なし。
0781番射精不足異常あり
What if? How do you do this for women though? Like a dude, the way they tested dudes' hardness, color, ejaculation speed, and semen volume are all normal. How do you do that for like women though? I'm like, huh? How do I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This shit's so weird. A man is dragged out into the center of the hall. He falls on his ass and desperately holds his arm out as Captain Shikolenko makes her measured approach.
待ってください。これは誤解なんだ。俺はオナニーしてない。勃起したら母親の顔を思い浮かべるようにしているんです。
Ass her.
つまりは近親相関もお好みということか直視もままならぬ変態だ
誤解です。禁止物はいけるけどガチの禁止はいけないって意味で、日本の男は全員そうなんです。義務教育でそう教わるんです。分かってください、おふくろさん。
While some prisoners call the guards sensei, others will call them pops. But since this prison guards is all women, some call them mom. It's because they take care of us. But personally, I feel like Nea-san would be more applicable.
おい、我々が闇雲に検査などしていると思うか？ お前たちの無声状態など我々プリズンの監視たちは全て把握している。
Nocturnal emissions.
本日選ばれた者は下着に無声痕のない人間だけだ。それが状況証拠となる。それにお前は早漏で有名な辻切りスペルマーだろう。すれ違う相手に対して2秒で射精しスカートにぶっかけることを喜びとした変態。
Oh, that's why he's faster.
通りスペルマー。
ためがないせいで飛距離が伸びない自分に悩み、ならば長所を伸ばすために1秒射精を無双ならぬ無精子鍛錬を続けた。そんな人間が射精に2分を要した。それが陰部摩擦を行っていたという何よりの証拠ではないのか。
けどおふくろさん。
おふくろ。
何がおふくろだ、玉袋野郎。
Even veterans of the prison have a hard time escaping the guards' punishment. In fact, those who have lived so aesthetically for so long end up suffering more under the pressure.
それではこれより夢中チンポの刑を行う。すべての囚人は必ず直立不動で目をそらさずに見るように。
Damn, man. The prisoner is tied to a long iron plate that resembles a torture device. Then his exposed penis is laid onto a perfectly sized platform.
反省しろ、反省しろ、反省しろ、反省しろ。この異常性欲者が。
His penis is whipped again and again. Hard.
やめてくれ。やめて。もうオナニーしません。やめてください。
あえぐな、今さら射精しても遅い。その痛みを刻み込んで反省しろ。
Pastor ejaculates with restraint to his feet. Charged my aura ring. Forgot to charge it today. Oh, there you go. All right, let's go. Where's my mouse? I hear this punishment is called pussy whipping when enacted on female prisoners. Since they don't ejaculate, men do, I'm not sure how they check if they've been masturbating. Rumor has it they measure by the squirt volume. What?
このバイタが私は女性器をいじるのが好きな悪い女ですと言ってみろ。
すみません、痛い。私はおまんこをいじるのが好きな悪い女です。昨日2回オナニーしてすみません。
誰がおまんこなどと汚らわしい言葉を使えと言った。二度も絶頂するなどなぜプリズンにいると思っている。悔い改めろ、変態どもが。
Violence is considered a corrective treatment in this prison. The beaten prisoners are collapsed and unmoving.
日直の者、この千釣り野郎を医務棟まで運んでやれ。
We are in the bowels of hell.
これで分かったか、性的異常者ども。よく聞け。こうなりたくなければ神聖なるプリズンでスケベなことをしようなどと考えないことだ。
And no one can resist the powers that oppress us. Can't believe we can't even jerk off. A normal adult man could require 2 or more bouts of masturbation a day. And I would. We would be denied that for all of 10 years or more?
苦しいかい、修一郎。
I'll say. Well, I masturbate to whip my dick. I can't let that happen. I'll take a vow of hand celibacy. I won't masturbate as long as I'm here.
しかしできるのか、そんなこと。君のような若い男が。
Not a matter of can or can't. I'm doing it. For your sake, Amatsu-kun. And at this part of my atonement, well, I'll give it a go. I finally find myself able to smile, and I feel Amatsu-kun hidden in the darkness also smiles back at me. My long first week is finally coming to an end.
本日は免業日だ。各自しっかりルールを遵守して休息するように。
We get Sundays off in Tula prison. Since there's no work to be had in any of the workstations, I think I might be able to get some relaxation in.
外に出たいもの整列は済んだな。それでは変態進め。
We aren't fully free though. If we want to go outside, we have to march like we always do.
いいか、今の外に出たいというのは建物より外出をしたいということだ。決して生で死体が妊娠させる気概もない男のする行為を指したわけだ。
They tell me that once outside, you're not allowed freely back to your cell until lunch at 12 or dinner at 6. Exercise comes highly recommended on days off. And there are even apparently sports clubs. Baseball, table tennis, boxing. We got a wide variety here. I don't like sports too much though, so I haven't joined any. Instead, I'll spend 6 hours here doing absolutely nothing. Either way, a crappy day off is still a day off. It's my first day off, and that alone puts a smile on my face. The facilities at Tula Prison are nothing you could call expansive. You could probably sprint from one end of the place to the other in a flash. I end up in the library for prisoners. It's my first time here, but it smells like the public library my Onesan took me to so long ago.
それで結局通りスペルマはどうなったの？まだイム島から出てこられない。ペニスが2倍以上に腫れ上がってるんだ。勃起しても 1.2 倍にしかならなかったのに。
I find an atlas, like the type you'd see in grade school geography class. I'll flip to one of the later pages. It says that this isolated island, about 20 kilometers away from the nearest port, used to be a coal mine. The island is 400 by 240 meters, the maximum elevation of 50 meters. It looks like it was built up around what used to be just a rock sticking out of the water. What surprises me though is to learn that as many as 5,300 people lived here when it was a coal mine. They shuttered it when the coal went out of fashion, and it was absorbed by some group somewhere.
じゃあ今は2倍の距離ぶっかけられるのかな？そうだといいけどね。
In other words, it took a whole island and turned it into a fortress, into a prison. The benefits of doing so were apparently huge. I leave the library behind and head out to the yard. This yard apparently used to be a bunch of lodging jammed together. They took the building apart and filled the lot left behind with dirt. I can see the tall wall. Though I can't say a number, it has to be 3 meters tall at the shortest. The wall covers the whole island. It's what keeps the prisoners inside. There's a bird up there. The wall alone is enough to make me think escape from here is impossible. It was explained to me that we're able to make phone calls during breaks. Guess these are the phones. The phone center is pretty close to the yard. Has about a dozen receivers all lined up. There are partitions to cover the upper body for privacy, but no stalls. You have to have your conversation standing up.
大丈夫だよママ。もうここから出たら小さな男の子の上履きなんて絶対盗まないから。小学校にも忍び込まない。
That's interesting crime. We only get 3 calls a month. There's a limit to letters and visits too.
僕ね、食材のためにバイトして施設に寄付をして回ろうと思ってるの。もちろん上履き、足長おじさんならぬ上履きおばさんなんてどうかな。あ、もう時間だから切るね。上履きよりも愛してる。
Each phone call lasts 5 minutes. The phone fees are deducted from our salary. A new worker gets about 1,070 yen per month, no matter how hard they work. Phone fees run about 10 yen a minute, depending on the hour. Prisoners with a lot to talk about lose a good chunk of their pay to the phone. Still, there's not much else to spend money on down here.
電話の順番がようやくわしに回ってきたか。これでようやくわしの電話の順番じゃな。
どきな、いつも同じこと繰り返してるじいさん。ほら、こいつをくれてやるからな。
50円なんてプリズンでは大金なのにもらってええのか。プリズンでは50円なんて大金なのに。
It seems cash is at least good for cutting in line, so maybe you can't have too much of it after all. I should probably save up when I need something. Still, I had no idea how they managed to avoid their cash being found during cell inspection.
気前いいっすね、小沢さん。あんな野外でしこってたじい様にわざわざ金払ってやるなんてさ。
小沢ちゃん、自分の馬が勝ったから今お金持ちなんだよね。
そういうことなわけ。やっぱりこのギャンブルはやめらんねえよな。
Then it's my turn. I turned the dial to a phone number I memorized. What did they give it? I never used this kind of phone before. I used to just use my tablet for everything. Hey, Nessun, it's been a while. I'm calling my Nessun. Her signature sobbing hasn't changed.
しゅうちゃんが電話してくれたの。お姉ちゃん嬉しくてね。大丈夫？元気でやってるの？辛くない？
I like her Nessun. I like his Nessun. So far, so good.
お父さんとお母さんには？
Not yet. I think they'll hang up on me.
そうだよね。
Why did they cry like this? My parents cut me off the second I got arrested. I've only been in contact with my Nessun for the past year. Hinako has already moved out. Is living alone in the city center where she works.
次のいつになるかわからないけど、次の休みに絶対に会いに行くからね。
I'd advise against it, with how sickly you are. My Nessun had a pretty weak heart since childhood. Her doctor has stopped her from traveling long distance. She seems really busy with work, so I don't want her to push herself. Hell, dragging her out to the trial was stressful enough for her. Hey, don't cry.
何か不自由とかしてない？送ってほしいものはある？刑務所って甘いもの食べられないでしょ？タルトとか作って送ろうか？
Man, she's so sweet. Wish we could share one.
そういうこと言われるともっと泣いちゃうでしょ？
When everyone else abandoned me, my Nessun still believed in me. He'll probably be the only one on my side from here on out. Police will probably get caught up in inspections. They're really strict about what you can bring in, so...
ねえ、いいじゃんか。
I turn back and the receiver's still in my ear. The group that cut in line seems to be surrounding someone.
シムヘイヘイ。あんたさ、脱法ファックって知ってる？
その行為に必然性があれば規則ギリギリのドスケベは許されるっていう法の抜け穴をついた性行為があんだよ。
つまり俺たちが今から電車ごっこをして体が密着し合ってしまうのは仕方がない不可抗力ってわけなのよ。
だいたいよ、見つからなければ相関係数にも影響は出ねえんだぜ。
やめてください。不愉快です。
The girl they surround is the one I remember being called Drone Girl.
おいてめえ、雑魚性犯罪者の分際でお高く止まってんじゃねえぞ。
Backo.
知ってんだぞ。お前盗撮魔なんだろ？ドローンガールとかって。
せっかく私たちが優しくしてやってんだからさ、痛い思いする前に小便臭いおまんこ触らせといた方がいいんじゃないの？
至る所盗撮してマス書いてる変態女なんだ。てめえだって好き者なんだろ？
しゅうちゃん、人生は一度きりだからね。
Yeah.
だから後悔しないように精一杯生きるのよ。だからお姉ちゃんも貯金して。あれ、しゅうちゃん。
Oh, they actually show the face of the other guy.
は？なんだてめえ。
Leave her alone.
もう一遍言ってみろや。
Leave her alone.
関係ねえやつが出しゃばってくんじゃねえぞ。やってやろうか？ああ！
Violence is wrong.
決め顔で何抜かしてやがんだクソガキがよ。
シムヘイヘイ、ガンダムのパイロットかよおめえはさ。
That's a weird reference.
てめえさ、俺が誰だか分かってんな生吐いてんのかよ。
None whatsoever.
小沢翔也っていや、旗への狂犬と呼ばれた天下の旗絵組の鉄砲玉だぞ、俺。
Oh, he okay. Looks like he's a character, man.
そんな怖いお兄さんだとは思ってなかったかな、僕。怖いね。
Who?
今から土下座して謝ったら許してあげようかっつってんだよ。
Really? Who are you? I don't know what's going on. But you really ought to let her go. This Ozawa guy, Ozawa fellow, is a lot taller than me. Not exactly a bodybuilder. He certainly looks like he hits the gym. That makes him all the more intimidating.
てめえ、どこのチームだよ。
Team?
プリズンで誰に世話になってんだっつってんだよ。ケツ持ち誰だ。
No one. I have no friends or allies. I only have myself.
一人もんかよ。それでこの俺に逆らうってことは、それなりの罪状で入ってきてんだろうな。
というかこのガキ誰？
侵入だろ。ほら、1週間前にごっそり入ってきた時の。
仲間もいない新参の分際で俺らに盾つこうとかちょっとバカすぎない？
そんで一体どんな罪状でプリズンにぶち込まれたんだよ。
Exhibitionist.
は？
I was arrested and jailed for the crime of exhibitionist.
露出って。
Indecent exposure.
ん？
しょっぽ！
こんな面白いことをほざいたやつはプリズンで初めてだろ。
そんなしょうもない罪状でよく俺たちに口答えなんてできたね。
私は公衆の面前で放尿し続け、より注目を集めるために美術品におしっこをかけた。その総額1000万以上。どんな距離でも必ず小便を命中させたわ。
Oh, I don't get her nickname though. Why is she like? I don't get it. Anyway, whatever.
俺は不法侵入と器物損壊。全国各地の道や壁に無修正絵画を描きまくってな。集団下校してる上級生の女の子が下級生の目を覆う様を見るのが人生の楽しみだった。
Oh, that's why he's called Spanx. Okay, I get what the hell they were trying to do here.
俺なんかあれだぜ。女に襲いかかってよ。ナイフで服や肌をズバズバっと切り裂いてやった。女が苦しんでる姿は最高に勃起すっからな。
So, he's a sexual crime dude, right? Wouldn't what he did fall under like the serious crime offenders or some shit? Because this shit's straight up like real shit compared to the other people here.
っていうか、あんたたちってわいせつ棒よね。
Oh yeah, it makes sense. So so people from the other wards get to mingle with the other wards. Okay, got it. It kind of makes sense. I think this guy comes from the serious crimes, whatever. Yeah.
あなたさ、わいせつ棒の連中がこのプリズンで何と呼ばれているか知ってんの？
I had not heard. No.
チンポポ組だよ。しょうもない性犯罪しかできねえバブちゃんの集団だからな。てめえらみたいなダサ坊が俺たち性犯罪棒に口答えするなんて1000年早えんだよな。
Sex crimes ward. Oh, okay. So obscenity versus sex crime. Okay. Sex crimes ward. The most popular cell ward in the prison. It's where those who committed worse sex crimes than those in obscenity ward are held. Okay. I didn't I just realized there were two different wards. Okay. That kind of makes sense. Okay. The wards are divided by floors, with the sex crimes ward being the floor lower than the obscenity ward. The worse the criminal, the further down they are pushed.
ちなみに、札につけられた2つ名は
Exhibit man. That kind of sounds unusual. You know what? That kind of sounds cool, but then you know it refers to exhibitionism. Jesus Christ. Give me a second. I need to check something quickly. Dude. I got distracted for nothing. Okay, I'll go back.
俺たちを笑い死にさせるつもりかよ。ダッサ。
大丈夫でちか？チンポポ組の全ラマンちゃんはおトイレに一人で行けるのかな？ 先生が壁に目印書いてありまちょうか。
大丈夫だよな。僕はトイレ以外でもすぐにお洋服脱ぎたくなっちゃうんだもんな。
Wait, what's even Centipede here for, though? Yeah, he didn't tell us his crime.
けどここで脱がないでくれちゃいよ。俺たちがいじめたみたいになっちゃいますからね。
ファックスってエッチな機械じゃないのか。
山岸主任強制処遇官、
どうしたか。貴様らはバカ笑いを繰り返して何をしていた。
は、なんでもございません。侵入の少年にプリズンのことを教えてあげていたのであります。なあ、ゼンダーマン君、さっきはよくも俺に舐めた口聞いてくれたよな。
He's got me at an angle that guards can't see. He must be used to this.
山岸のアホが消えたら、そんことについてたっぷり教育してやるから。
I may not be used to the prison, but even I can imagine what this lesson will be.
それとも俺たちの手下になるか。だったら許してやってもいいぜ。プリズンにも友達は必要だぜ。特にてめえみたいな雑魚はよ。一生俺たちの使いっ走りになるってんなら、この先も守ってやってもいいんだけどな。
Not interested. If I gave in, I would have to defer to this man for the rest of my days. I don't want to live like that. So I'll have to refuse.
どうなっても構わねえってんだな。おい。
He tightens his grip. I see genuine anger in his face. How am I going to get out of this one? Ooh, another character with a face. I noticed a woman peering from behind Officer Yamagishi. She pantomimes turning a phone dial, puts her hand in the air, and quietly moves her mouth. What the hell? A vague memory of my Nessan showing me how to do this floats into mind. Yeah, like this.
もしもしだ、貴様らもしもしを教えたというのか。
そう、もしもしって。
それは良くない。
What happened there just now?
もしもしとはこのプリズン禁止用語にも選ばれている言葉だぞ。なぜならもしもしはドイツで女性器を指す模試に空耳するからだ。遵守事項禁止隠語集にもそう書かれている。これを見ろ。
Wait, what the hell just happened? I don't understand what happened just now.
知らなかったとは言わせんぞ。汚らわしい言葉を口にするだけでなく、アマツさえ新人に教え込む。許せるか。
そんな。
特別警備隊、こいつらを連行しろ。貴様らは書き取りの罰だ。夕食の時間まで禁止用語を書き続ければ体に染み込むだろう。
I like how the SST just randomly just show. They just, you know, they just shouts their name and just teleports in their back. What the fuck?
手がおまんこになっちゃ
また言ったな。よほど罰が受けたいらしい。
The group is scuffed by the security team, and Officer Yamagishi leads them away. Looks like I'm out of danger for now. Did you help me? No, seriously, what the hell happened there just now? How? What? The woman simply shoots me a quiet smile. What the hell happened there? I find myself sitting on some steps in the yard next to her. She didn't say a word on the way here from the phones. The woman doesn't talk much and has sort of a fatigue allure to her. She seems to be in her early to mid-20s. Hand on her lap, she leans against the desk behind us. Why did you help me? I asked, why did you?
そっか、ごめんなさい。私、片耳がよく聞こえないの。
You can't?
ええ、昔妹としたいたずらのせいで、音声作品を収録するときに返しが大きくなっていたのに気づかなくて。
Been making some ASMR. How loud?
耳なめ音で鼓膜が破れて。
Your eardrum?
それ以来、こちら側の音が聞こえないの。もう慣れちゃったけどね。
Alright, that's interesting. But why is she in prison though? She lets out a little chuckle, then turns to me.
おまけに目もあまり良くないから、 近くで顔を見させてね。
I slowly peer into her face. Her eyelashes are so long they feel like they're pointing at me. Those eyes feel like they'll suck me in too.
でも唇の動きを見れば何を言っているかわかるんですよ。
I'm physically close enough to feel that. I pick up a sweet scent. Her soft skin is strangely wet, has a strangely wet feel to it too. For some reason I remember my Nessan.
力がみなぎってくる。大丈夫か、修一郎。
I can feel the power flowing into me. What the hell does that mean? It's fine, Amatsu-kun. I'm calm. Of course I am.
どうかした？
Nothing.
何それ。
Looks like she really can read my lips.
面白い子だね。
Ichiro. Her eyes go wide for a moment, then she blinks.
ランです。私の名前は花丸ランと言います。よろしくね、修一郎くん。
Okay. I ended up spending a lot of time with Hanamaru-san.
このプリズンは礼儀にとてもうるさいところだから敬語をしっかり使えるようになりましょう。私のことは花丸先生と呼ぶように。
Got it, sensei. Taught me all sorts of prison know-how I needed to understand.
ではおさらいしましょう。悪いことをしたら
Go men.
親切にされたら
Thank you very much.
謝罪をするなら
Sincerely, sorry. She smacks her thigh and bursts out laughing. Was that strange?
いやいや、バッチリだよ、修一郎くん。
Sincerely sorry. Maybe there's something about the Japanese of sincerely sorry. Hontoni gomenasai or what? I'm gradually mastering the contours of etiquette. I should be able to speak to the guards without issue one day.
修一郎くんって本当に面白いですね。
She wipes the tears from her eyes and grabs my right elbow.
他に知っておいた方がいいことは、そうだね。ここの住人はね、めったなことでは本名で呼び合わないの。みんな二つ名で呼び合ってるでしょ。
Hanamaru-san will always pull me in close like this when telling me something's on the secretive side.
修一郎くんの二つ名は何だった？
Exhibit man.
そう、全裸マン。じゃあ他の人にはそう名乗った方がいいと思うな。
Then the man. What's your nickname, Hanamaru-san?
私は教祖だよ。
What? What? Oh my god. That sounds serious. What the hell? Cult Master. That's a strange nickname. What a nickname though.
それはもちろん自分の操縦権を相手に渡さないためだよ。
Piracy?
本当の名前。これはマナ。つまりはマナの言い換えであり、それを知られるということは自身のエクトプラズムを操られるということだから。
Perhaps she was deep into the occult and
なんてね。そんなことで相手を縛れるはずないもの。おとぎ話だよ。射精で空を飛ぶくらいありえないね。修一郎くん、私が教祖だって知った時変な顔してたからついからかっちゃった。元ネタは古いファンタジー小説ね。私にそんなあだ名がついたのは逮捕された時に仮装してたから。それがローマ法王みたいだったんだって。それでついちゃった。
what the hell was her sex crime though? I mean, obscenity crime. I had to differentiate the two because the other one's serious, the other one's like relatively petty crimes, but in their world, it's taken so seriously. I mean, I get it. Public indecency is taken seriously. You know, I mean, you know what I mean. But like, compared to like whatever Ozawa made, Ozawa was in for, man. That is Hannibal Lecter tier shit, man. I mean, the first movie, antagonist, not Hannibal Lecter himself, but he's kind of in between. Or both. I don't know. Anyway. Hanamaru-san's laugh is awfully loud, probably because she's hard of hearing. Still, I like this nonchalant smile of hers.
本当の理由はプリズンから出た後のことね。性犯罪者が社会に復帰するのは難しいことは知ってるでしょ。出所した後、同じチューリッププリズンの人が塀の中で恨んでた相手の名前や行動をネットや何かに上げてしまうかもしれない。
Okay, that makes sense. And that's what the nicknames are for.
お姉さんのおせっかいだったらごめんね。
I wonder if what is Rad's reason for helping us out? Or if she's just looking, I don't know. I tend to be the suspicious type, especially in a setting like this, you know. She always hits me with a shy smile after giving me a word of warning. It's pretty adorable, really.
もしかして抵抗ある？
I'm not. Because I don't believe what I did was wrong. What I did was both self-expression and art. I cannot think of it as a crime. But if Hanamaru-san is advising me to go with nicknames, then I think I will.
かっこいいこと言うな。
Hanamaru-san puts her head on my shoulder and leans on me. She's a very tactile person by nature. Most people avoid bodily contact with people they aren't close to. He, however, touches me a lot. Okay, that really puts me on guard because this is like, you know, this prison is about like people getting in because of they did something or something sexual related. So a form of intimacy like this is already dangerous, you know. I never met someone like this before. Hanamaru-san, what cell ward are you in?
ここに囚人番号があるでしょ。この書かれている4桁の番号ね。ここが00から始まったら重大犯罪簿。
Okay, interesting.
02から始まったら性犯罪簿。
I get it.
それで07から始まったらわいせつ簿っていうことになるわけですね。
Then what does 05 mean? I get it. Hanamaru-san probably just might.
噂では1から始まる死刑囚しか入れない棒っていうのもあるらしいけど、誰も見たことがないから作り話だろうね。
Then what the hell is 05 then? Have a thing for me. Like me like that. What's your favorite hairstyle, Hanamaru-san?
坊主かな。
I'm bald. What age range do you like?
年下が好きだね。
Oh, I'm starting to get an idea what she's in for. I mean, younger guys. What's your type?
修一郎くんみたいな人かな。
I'm like me. I fit every category. She likes me, doesn't she? That makes me more suspicious, though.
何の話だっけ？あ、棒の話か。
What is 05? Hanamaru-san, what are you in for?
罪って言うと難しいね。私は妹の罪を肩代わりしてこのプリズンに入ったから。
You're innocent?
うん、有罪。だって私は妹のやったことを止められなかったから。
Hey, what did your Imoto do? She takes my shoulder again.
私と妹は一心同体なんです。だから私の責任でもある。
Okay. She squeezes a little tighter than before.
私ね、昔から他の人とうまく馴染めなくて、いろいろな人に虐げられてきた。
Bro, my sense of alert is all up. There's something that doesn't feel right.
だから妹に協力させて悪いことをたくさんした。純粋無垢な人に水素水を売りつけたり、会社を立ち上げてインターネットで流行った言葉を T シャツにして売ったり、知り合いのあそこに蜂蜜を塗って集めたカブトムシを売ったり、音声作品を出して1000人を射精管理した結果、みんなの金玉を爆発させたこともあったっけ。
What the hell?
うん、金玉はまずかったか。けど、監視も来ない。大丈夫そうだね。そういうことをやってきて、周囲の人からは蔑まれて、 どんどん居場所をなくしてしまった。挙句両親にも縁を切られ、大好きな弟とも会えなくなってしまった。生まれ育った島から逃げ出して2人で生きていかなきゃならなくなった時にあの事故に遭って。
The feedback being too loud?
それで妹は自暴自棄になってしまって、すごく悪いことをして、代わりに私が逮捕された。それが妹をあんな風にしてしまったお姉ちゃんの責任だから。
She squeezes my arm again. I'm not the biggest guy myself, but her arms feel pretty thin.
あ、ごめんね。こんな話いきなりしちゃって。
Bro, this feels like a sob story to manipulate, man. I don't know. I'm really distrustful, man. I don't know. I could be wrong, but you know.
なんかおかしいね。君にはこんな話ばっかりしちゃうみたい。
Just me?
こんな話恥ずかしくて誰にもしたことなかったの。
Yeah, this is so suspicious. She sounds a little panicked as she twirls her long hair with her fingers.
変だな。おかしいな。
Then she looks up at me in slight deference and tilts her head. I have an emote, Onesan I love, so I understand how you feel.
そう？君も辛い思いをしたんだ。
She turns her body to me ever so slightly. I feel two round sensations in my elbows.
だったら修一郎君は私と同じだね。
Bro, I'm so suspicious. Like, she could have heard like the earlier conversation with our Onesan, and then she carefully like plays around to put herself in a position that seems like, you know, attractive and all. Breasts. Not too big and not too small. Hanamaru-san. Said a minute ago that prisoners call themselves by their nicknames. I do like breasts. Why did you tell me your real name then?
それは誰かに自分の名前を呼んでもらいたかったから。
I see. I knew it.
私のことランって呼んでくれますか？
I will, Ran-san. He's head over heels for me. I just know it. With the day's work over, I come back to my cell. I finally gotten used to working in the paper room. The guards hardly yell at me anymore. I have all she's taught me to think. The lights go off and it's time for sleep. I need to get plenty of sleep tonight to be ready for work tomorrow. Oh, that's also a reminder for myself, by the way. But sleep does not come. I feel a strange frustration in my chest, and I see this blurry image when I close my eyes. Huh?
どうしたんだい、修一郎。
I've never really had anyone like me.
ああ、ずっと一人だったものな。
This is why I feel suspicious about the whole thing, man. It's always been just me. I've always been alone, except for, well, him. I might have had the encounter of a lifetime here in prison, though.
あ
I think she likes me.
あ、ということは。
That I like her too. She may be the one to finally understand me. Someone who's been alone for so long. I may have finally met someone who will understand me. My chest is tight, Amatsu-kun.
恋とはそういうものさ、修一郎。
I turn on my side and close my eyes. I hope I don't have any nightmares tonight. The following night, I step into the cafeteria to be greeted by an unexpected sight. A girl soaking wet from head down. It's Drone Girl from back at the phones. What happened?
どうも。
She passes by me like nothing happened.
どうしてあの女の子はびしょびしょなんだ。とんでもなく難しいクイズだぞ。
There's a trail of wet footprints from the bathroom.
冷凍食をください。
何言ってんだよあんた。そんなびしょびしょじゃ食事はあげられないんだよ。あそこにも書いてあるだろう。
A paper taped to the wall reads, "Those unclean body and mind shall not eat."
出したらこっちがどやされるんだ。ほらほら、あっち行った。そろそろ食事の時間だ。 全員着席するように。どうした？
先生、床が濡れていたのできれいにしました。
What? What?
そうか、偉いぞ。とっとと座れ、HQ ども。喫食。
With no choice, Drone Girl sits down, still wet. Everyone around her hungry wolfs down their meals while she does not have so much of as a tray. I notice the girl stealing glances at her and laughing.
くそ、笑いすぎて飯食えねえんだわ。
Guess she got bullied. They still bullied her or something.
頭からつま先までずぶ濡れでさ、まるで全身重世紀じゃん。
Looks like there are culprits. I guess yesterday's incident left their pride wounded. Is there a reason they went after her and not me though? She doesn't say a word. She just stares ahead, unmoving.
それはいじめだね。
Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, you're back. Okay, Matt, let's continue. Ransan says that in our now familiar spot.
刑務所っていうのはある意味で学校より狭い空間だからね。そういうこともあるの。強い者が弱い者を食らう。プリズンは残酷な世界の縮図だよ。
I had thought that Tula Prison was, in a way, a place of equality. A place I'd hope where I'd find more acceptance and understanding than I had outside at least. Hey, we're all the same here. Sex criminals.
そうだね。けどこれが現実だね。自分の犯した罪を誇ってその大きさでランクをつける。とてもくだらないですが現実。
Those who commit serious crimes are looked up to, in a way, by the other prisoners. They're seen as higher order sickos, as it were.
そういうのがあそこにいるような連中。
I follow her eyes to see that Ozawa character and his goons crouch over and chatting.
暇だってだけで誰かをいびり、ストレスが溜まったってだけで相手を貶める。そうやってしか生きていけない人間もいる。だからプリズンで簡単に人を信じてはいけないの。
You mean like you? You never know when someone is going to undermine you. That's Tula Prison. Didn't you say you had bad eyesight?
それはほら、心で感じるんですよ。目と耳が悪くなってから私は雰囲気っていうのかな。そういうので相手の場所が分かるようになったから。
Oh man, now she's that suspicious.
危ない危ない。
Oh, I heard that.
つきたかったからついた嘘がバレるところでした。
I know enough Japanese to know that she was panicking there. Like, Ran really is amazing.
だからそういう人に関わってはいけないんですよ。
She tells me to avoid trouble if I want to live here peacefully.
でもね、あの人たちが言っていたことも本当。このプリズンは危険なところ。自分が弱ければ強者に頼る。そして強者は弱者を食い物にする。
I wonder what they're doing. They're making it obvious that we're being set up. We're obviously being set up, and they even hinted a straight up clue that it's so obvious. But I wonder what they're going to do with that. Let's see. That does sound wise. So that's how people form cliques and gangs.
それが普通なんだよ。大抵の人間が一人ぼっちじゃ生きていけないの。
Fuck.
だから君も守ってくれる仲間を作った方がいいよ。
This isn't a school, but a dangerous prison. Still, don't like living in crowds. More importantly, I want to help her. I want to save Drone Girl as atonement.
罪を償うって。修一郎君は自分が悪いことをしたとは思ってないって。
I don't think I did something even the least bit wrong. To me, my actions are artistic. I don't see them as perverse or sexual. I think penis is a pretty good name too. Or chin chin. But it looks like I hurt someone, even if I didn't mean to. even as strongly as I believe in the beauty and glory exhibition. Listen, if it hurts someone, then I'm sure it's probably a bad thing.
だから
I want to help someone to make up for those I've hurt, even if it's just for self-satisfaction. That's what I want to do. When I do that, I'm sure I'll be able to write a letter of apology to her and her dog. And he already even got the wrong name. He already got the wrong name for the dog. Then I'm sure I'll be able to sleep at night.
若いのにいろいろ考えてるんだね。たくさんの感情を抱えながらいっぱい。
I don't actually know how to help her though. All this thinking may be pointless.
あるよ、方法なら。こういうのはね、結局格の問題なの。相手が舐めているからちょっかいを出されてしまう。
Pecking order.
だから周囲にこいつはすごいやつだと思わせることができれば、いじめっていうのはなくなる。
And I know what impresses people around here.
そう、変態性。
People here boast about their crimes and use them to wield superiority over others. If I manage to show even a stronger perversion, however, they'll be forced to show some measure of respect.
ラッポーファックって聞いたことがある？
That was the sexual act they were talking about. The one that's hard to punish even if caught.
そう、別名危険をファック。
Get the fuck.
例えば赤ちゃんプレイなら精神鑑定で0歳児と判断されるレベルの行動をとれば、仮に異性に甘えてもそれはセーフと判断される。赤ちゃんが甘えるのは当然だからね。
They punish you just for adjusting your crotch in tulip prison. Can you really pull off something that dangerous?
でも危険をファックなんて言ってもその程度のことだよ。
It really does sound risky.
これが危険だなんて呼ばれるところで本当の行為をしたらどうなると思う？
The real thing. What do you mean?
キス。
They call even dropping your mental age and getting hugs a loophole, or risking here. What would happen then if you actually brought your lips to another's?
しかも深くてエッチなやつ。
It would be unthinkable. Absolutely unthinkable. That's what I think. But to kiss someone you need, well, you need someone to kiss. It's not something you can do on your own.
私がしてあげる。
I think that's what she's doing. It's not. Yeah. She's just looking for someone she can marry here for that.
私がキスしてあげる。
Or along these lines. She's up and says it with her usual bashful smile. A slight red decorates her cheeks. You mean pretend?
どんなだったか聞かれてちゃんと答えられるの？このプリズンにいるのは経験豊富な人ばっかりよ。
She makes a good point. I can't provide a satisfactory answer unless if I actually do it. Would it be wise though? Allowed?
どうして？
I mean, it's a kiss.
キスだね。
That should be really perverted, right? Man, his level of perversion is so low, man. I wouldn't even call that. I don't know, man.
エッチな方をするから。
I don't think anyone in my class has done it before.
じゃあ修一郎くんが一番乗りだ。
But grandson, I think that
いいよ。君にだったらいいかなって。そう思うよ。
what is she planning? You know what? We also don't know what 05 means, man. I still don't know. Or maybe I missed out. I didn't notice it. Maybe I don't know. But I feel like I didn't see it. For some reason, I like Ransan's eyes are bigger than normal. They look wet with a vivid moisture to them.
代わりって言ったらなんだけど、頭撫でてもいい？
My head?
弟いるって言ったでしょ？だからうちの弟も坊主だったんだけど、 でも君のことを弟って思いたいわけじゃなくて、
It's fine. I don't mind. Think of me however you like.
ありがとう。
Her soft chest brushes against my shoulder. I'm sure of it. I'm not getting the wrong idea.
よしよし、いい子だね、修一郎くん。
She definitely likes me.
なんだか落ち着くね。
Once again, I'm sure of it, I think to myself. Ransan takes me down a path I've never been before. Her pace, a light run. So, this is a good place, huh? I brought out my jacket like she told me to. Oh shit! I think something's gonna happen, man. Something bad. She mentioned that if you're going to move around the facility, you should wear it.
してる最中に誰かが来たら大変なことになっちゃうでしょ。
She goes off the paved path. There are plenty of similar-looking pathways in the prison. The guards will come flying if you step slightly away from the designated walkway.
大丈夫だよ。ここの道ならめったに見つからないから。
And no one does. As if this is fate, we pass by no one.
ここなら誰も来ないよ。
We come to a pathway surrounded by fencing. It's near the sea, so I hear the calm sound of waves.
もしかして緊張してる？
I would be lying if I said I wasn't.
大丈夫。お姉さんに任せなさい。
She brings herself closer to my chest. The setting sun's rays are on her face as she looks up at me. She's beautiful. I feel like I could fall into your eyes. I feel like I could fall into her eyes.
ねえ、脱いで。
My uniform?
君は露出が好きなんだよね。だったら
This is super bait.
一番好きな格好で初めてをしてほしい。私も修一郎くんが愛したそれを受け止めてあげたいの。
I think it's over for our guy, man.
だからね。
I nod and strip. A cool breeze passes around over my raw crotch. A familiar feeling. The core of exhibition, really. At the same time, my heart rate beats at a rapid rhythm.
綺麗な体だね。それじゃあ。
I'm going to have my first kiss. I'm going to touch those beautiful red lips.
ね、つむっていてね。
Oh man. He's gonna get fucked here, man. He's gonna get fucked. I know it. It is so obvious. It's going to be me and her. We're going to kiss with tongue. Here comes my first kiss. My first time in prison. No. So obvious. So obvious. An ear-splitting scream rocks my senses. I reflexively cover both ears.
なんだどうした？
早く来てください。変態です。
誰だ？我々の目の届きにくい場所で大声を出しているのは。
この人が、この露出狂が人のいないところに呼び出して私にも全裸になるよう強要するんです。
何？貴様、本当か？
No, it's...
違うと言っているが。
露出の素晴らしさを教えてやるって、そう言って私に脱法をバコ。
そうなのか？
俺たちも見ましたよ。嫌がる彼女の前で平然と決め顔で全裸に。
Oh, they might be in cahoots, man. They might be in cahoots. Oh, man.
そういう言葉を自分は信じられる。
I am struck to the ground, stark naked.
さあ、露出狂変態クズ精子。なるほど、そうか。ついに服の重さに耐えられなくなったわけか。こいつを抑えていろ。無線を忘れた。今特別警備隊を呼んでくる。
I still can't process what is going on. I figured that there must be a mistake somewhere. Ransan! So obvious, man. So obvious. She lets out the most pure of belly laughs. The others burst out laughing, follow suit.
やっぱ無垢な童貞のバカをからかってやるのは最高ですね、花丸さん。
So obvious, man.
それがわいせつ坊のしょっぽい全裸小僧だったらひとしおですよ。
あの子を助けることで贖罪したいだ。バカすぎて笑うの我慢する方が大変だったよな。
キスで子供が生まれるわけねえだろうがよ。バッカがよ。
あと普通犬の名前がテニスになったらかわいそうですから。私忠告してあげませんでしたか。プリズンで簡単に人を信用してはいけないって。弱いなら誰かに守ってもらえって。
She pulls my chin up with her toes and bends down. But why?
なぜって。そんなの決まってるじゃありませんか。
That wasn't the face of the Hanamaru-san I knew.
プリズンは退屈すぎてストレスと鬱憤がたまりにたまりますからね。こうして発散してるわけです。
Her soft smile and bashful laugh are gone.
仕方ないですよね。せっかく私たちが仲間になってやろうと言ったのに断ったんですから。何されても構わないってことですよね。
She looks just like the others. The ones that dump water over a grown girl.
こうやって何も知らないアホガキをたまくらかして得る快感は何者にも変えられないもんです。
All that remains on her face is the twisted, ugly smile of someone convinced of her own superiority. By the way, I don't know why they made this deliberate or like so obvious. But I don't know. Maybe this is so obvious anyway that they decided, all right, we might as well just play along and make this obvious and just get on with it. Just so you learn how prison works. But like, I wonder if it would have been a better shock factor if you they really made it more subtle. But like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're just trying to get away with this. I don't know what's the purpose of this thing, but whatever. It's still, you know.
それも生きがってるタンポポ組のしょんべんくせえオスが来た来た。どうですか。大便臭いメスガキ様のやり方は。
Thanks, Mesugaki. Then back at the phones. Why did you help me?
はあ。
It's obviously bait, man.
全部嘘ですよ。
They're willing for the long setup just to have that prank, man. I was restrained by the officer after that. They spared me from solitary since it was my first offense, but they took me on the walk of shame. I was dragged across the premises for about 4 kilometers, cock first. I didn't lose my dong, but it really hiked up the foreskin. I don't know what happened to my score. I'm sure it went up a lot. Officer Yamakishi said she'll be keeping a closer eye on me before she took her leave. The problem started the following day. There's trash in my breakfast. I find bits of wire paper in my rice, and a shell, and my rolled egg. There was trash in my food. May I have another set?
私の作ったものに猛殺つける気かい。おかしなこと言うと爪楊枝をビャッとしちまうよ。
Tormenting other prisoners through their food is apparently a common practice. If you can't eat just about anything here, your body won't survive. The winds from the sea chill to the bone, and the body needs calories. Very good. Even after taking the main chunks out, the little paper bits won't leave my paper bowl. The normally tasty wheat rice has lost all its flavor. I see strands of long hair tangled around what left little fried tofu I have. I see Ran-san in the distance. Not Ran, Rin. And I'm at a Rin grinning in the distance. Chatter while walking is forbidden and gets you charged for inappropriate conversation. Because there are so many prisoners, however, no one gets clamped down for whispering.
君と話してると僕もあの人たちに目をつけられて使い古しの上履きみたいにかかと潰されるからごめんね。
Eventually, everyone stopped talking to me. As the teary-faced woman nervously looks away from me, I feel someone poke me in the back of my head.
なんかチンカスくせえと思ったらこんなところにチンポポ坊主がいたのね。
Wonder Woman. Two women I don't know are formed up behind me.
露出でおちんちん丸出しのまま捕まったんでしょ。さあ
チンポコ見せびらかして喜ぶなんていかにもチンポポ組らしくてしょっぱい遊びよね。
Seen them a few times. They're the pair for the sex crimes ward, if memory serves.
私は100人以上を無知で縛り付け性奴隷に調教した上で0721万以上を貢がせたのよ。下は19歳から上は85歳までね。
私はアナル開発が好きでクソチンポどもを69人以上人工肛門にしてやったの。ああえでたんだから無罪なはずなのにおかしいよね。
露出なんてしょうもない犯罪で捕まるなんてあんたのパパとママもさぞ悲しんでることでしょうね。
泣いてないんじゃないの。だってそんな育て方した親が悪いんだから自業自得じゃない。
If you left 69 people with colostomies, you're just not good at anal.
はああんた今なんて言った。
And how about saying you got an ass load of money instead? If it's with your friend.
チンポポ風情が一丁前に抜かしてんじゃないわよ。
The anus destroyer turns her rat to my crotch with a kick. The toes rub my lower head, leaving my dick out in the comfortable position in my prison suit. I reflexively put it back in its proper position. But that's my fatal mistake.
貴様今股間に手を伸ばしたか。整列進行の最中に陰部摩擦などと何様のつもりだ。
The guard on duty immediately comes running. I was just adjusting it a little.
機嫌は抜かすな。自分についていないものを直そうとしたと言われてはいそうですかと許すはずがないだろう。よって罰を与える。貴様は昼休憩と昼食は抜き2時間正座して反省するように。
She doesn't even give me the opportunity to present an excuse. Turns around and hurries off like she really has somewhere to be.
いい君だな。おい。
I get it.
包茎チンポポ不全が俺たちに舐めた態度取るからそういうことになるんだよ。
I'm already surrounded by enemies. Ultimately, I didn't get to eat lunch. Instead, I had to sit on my knees in reflection while a guard watched over me. With her grumbling about having to watch over me during lunchtime, of course. I'm in something of a big appetite stage of my life, so she's not the only one suffering. It feels like I could wolf a meal down even if I had paper or shells mixed into it, and ask for seconds. Para prisoners stand in complete contrast to me, being showered with praise instead of beratement.
先生、休憩時間に窓枠をきれいにしました。
監視殿、炊飯の片付けおよび分別完了いたしました。
生ゴミの片付けはどの囚人も嫌がるというのにご苦労だった。
いえいえ、この程度のこと。私がしたのに。
When I caught sight of them a while ago, someone from the obscenity ward was being made to clean up all the leftover food. Which means they had a flunky to do all the work and then took all the credit. How they got on the guard's good sides. In the face of that, it was just a handy toy for her to kill time with.
どうやら連中の大不況を買ったみたいだな。
Looks like it. I sit down on my bed and lean my back against the cold wall. I decide to distract myself from an empty stomach by sleeping. A hot bowl of wheat rice will awake me in the morning.
早く朝になるといいな、修一郎。
I'll be fine, Amatsu-kun. And take it. Be used to enduring. When I close my eyes, my face naturally floats to mine. Hanamaru Ransan. Or rather, Hanamaru Rin. A kind-hearted woman who saved me in my time of need. The first ally I found in Tulip prison.
これからどうする修一郎
Good question. It was all a fantasy. I thought she liked me. I was wrong. I was just a toy to her. She probably wouldn't be the only one either. I think I'll be depressed for a while. Man, we're not gonna make it. Huh? Out of nowhere comes the officer in duty tonight. Officer Yamagishi, known as Hegao? What? That's an interesting nickname. Oh shit, this guy has no escape from all this fucking... Okay, fine. I think they wanted to emphasize the bullshit that comes after. They didn't care about the it being obvious. The shit that comes after is far worse. Okay. It is not. They don't know how to do it. The term loophole bang refers to the bally borderline sex acts that other prisoners were talking about. How am I supposed to have done such a thing in my cell? A certain term flits through my head. Masturbation snitching. A way to bring down other prisoners using guards. She glares at me, veins popping. I know those eyes. I know them well. Pure, genuine disgust. There must be some kind of mistake. Last night I had a wet... I know this reaction. I know that when people act out of disgust, there's no limit to what they'll do. I was not. I was not. The interrogation looks like it's going to continue. It continued until morning. I only taste relative freedom after breakfast. I arrive at the paper room, both hungry and sleep deprived. Work begins at 8 o'clock on the dot. My head is heavy. The body doesn't move as I wish it. If you so much as yawn on the job, you'll get a whip smack upside the head with her baton. For the first time in my life, I realized how quickly sleep deprivation and hunger can wear away at the body. So dizzy, I make it to lunchtime. I need to eat something. Anything. Excuse me, bathroom please. As the thought of finally getting some food comes to me, what wants to come out.
Oi, 入ったか。早くバケツ持ってこい。
それじゃあ行きますよ。せーの。
Oh, the same thing that happened to Drone Girl.
どうしたそんな格好で。いや、ずぶ濡れのまま販売に来るとは何事だ。囚人番号。
Number 072.
なぜ頭からびしょびしょに濡れている。何かの暗喩か。
It is not.
嘘をつくなこの性欲肥大感。見えたぞ。濡れれば服を脱げるし、あわよくば看守に拭いてもらえるという心づもりだろう。
When I went in the bathroom, water came pouring down on me.
乾くまでそこに立っていろ。
カラカラに乾くまでだぞ。まったく日に日に HQ どもの手段が凶悪化していきますね。
The delicious scents of the cafeteria assail my nostrils. Today is the day everyone has been waiting with bated breath. Hare. I never had Never had I imagined that wonderful smells could be so devastating. Now I know. It seems your stomach starts to really hurt when it's been empty for too long, and adds the deprivation into the mix. My consciousness is fading in and out.
君、その紙を半分にしてきてくれないか？あっちに裁断機があるから、それでやればいい。
Sure thing.
急がないと監視が起こるから。
The predictable sounds of factory dull my thinking further. I take the paper from him and take sure careful steps. That's another 6 hours to go until dinner. I just need to hold out until then.
0720番動くな
Oh, because he wasn't thinking. So he's so sleep deprived, and you know he's not supposed to stand. You know, I remember he's supposed to like raise his hand or some shit where he does something, right? All sound stops. Today's officer on duty, Captain Nikolenko, comes running from behind and grabs me with an intense expression.
お前これがどういうものだか分かっているのか
A paper cutter.
そうだ一つ間違えば腕さえ簡単に切り落とし人を殺傷することだってできる特別な裁断機だ故に使用の際は刑務官に声をかけ立ち会いのもと使用しなければならない
Today is my first time being sent to the paper cutter. No one told me this.
それをお前はなぜ勝手に使用しているここにあるのはおもちゃじゃないんだぞ
I was told this was an urgent job.
あるわけないだろう今日は裁断の仕事はないスケジュールにもノート制作と書かれているのが見えないのか
But that guy asked me to.
動くなと言っただろう
I feel a heavy pain run through my side. It takes me a while to realize I'm struck square in the solar plexus.
担当刑務官が声をかけた場合直立不動だと何度も言っているだろうそんなことまでわからなくなったのか
I was just doing the job I've been asked to. Asked to by the other prisoner over there. I see. That's what this is.
このような軽挙盲導に出る輩を取り扱いの危険な製紙工場に置いておくわけにはいかない
Looks like I really am stupid.
別の工場に飛ばすしかないな
I can't believe I fell for something so obvious. The laundry room is a place of manual labor. It has a poor reputation among the prisoners, and no one wants to work there.
ここは主に洗濯をするところでとにかくたくさん服を洗うところです
Oh, it's interesting she was also assigned here. In charge of the laundry room is a woman who looks to be 5 years my senior, a senpai. Everyone calls her Krepimori. She sucks up to the guards a lot. I'm not the only one who's been condemned here either.
どうも
Oh,
よろしく
so this is the most bottom rung of bottom rungs, I guess. I'll be right back. I want to grab some water. All right, I'm back. Grown girl. She's a lot thinner than the last time I saw her, and her face is much paler as well. Yet, unlike me, she has kept up that aloof air about her. Her face gives me a sense of deja vu, but I can't quite put a finger on it. In Tula prison, prisoner uniforms are washed every 2 days. Sheets are washed once a week, jacket from time to time. There are, say, 800 prisoners in total. That means we're washing clothes for 400 people every day. On top of that, we had to wash the clothes of the guards who live in the dorms too. We also wash the clothes that come in from hotels and guest houses for neighboring islands too. There's a lot to wash.
監修先生のは汚れが落ちなかったら手で落とすんですよたわしとたらいはここにあるのでピカピカに綺麗にするとすごく褒められるから相関係数にもいいんですよ
I think Kushimori is so mind broken, man.
おい次の洗濯物が来たぞチェック開始だ
Clothes are carried inside large bags and divided by the number into piles of bags. The jackets, suits, and underwear each have little holes in them and are bound together by a string with a tag that holds the prisoner number. This is all to make cleaning and returning clothes in sets a lot easier. I'm honestly impressed with the system, I think to myself.
0530番無声あり
But we don't actually put them all in the big washing machine. Not yet. The team checks through checks the prisoner's underwear.
0702番愛駅
They then report their findings to the officer on duty.
0831番1週間連続無声なし。あのスプラッシュおじさんが無声しないはずがない。
Shercock Boats! The fucking name! This is how the guards keep track of our own ongoings, say the celibacy. Well, the underwear is covered in vaginal juice. I don't like that much.
おい盗撮女全裸マンに代わってパンツチェックをやれよ
お前って男が行く瞬間を盗撮して興奮するドスケベらしいな。嬉しいだろ。ぴったりな仕事があって羨ましいな。
手袋なんてつけるなよ。全部素手でやるんだぞ。わかったら返事せんかい。
はい。
With a one-word response, she grips the underwear with her bare hands. Semen from a wet dream immediately sticks to her hand.
おい、それをどうするつもりだ。ここはクリーニング工場だぞ、インバイ。そんな汚ね手で外のパンツを触るんじゃねえよ。
ならどうすれば自分ので拭くんですよ
Oh man, he's gonna be in the world of pain. She nods and wipes her hand on another pair of underwear when no one's looking. Impressively adaptable, I think to myself.
この洗剤が目に入ったら失明するので気をつけてくださいね
Man, you can tell she's so mind broken. There's something overwhelming about mixing the scent of semen into the already heated laundry room. The room always has dryers running, so it is as hot as it gets. The dryer in front of me is immense. It could easily fit 3 large men inside. I'm not sure if this is actually true, but I heard someone went in as a joke and ended up dead. I pushed the basket cart.
おい、下っ端。乾燥した服を向こうに片付けてこい。とっととしろよ。
There are dozens, no hundreds of people's clothes in there. Far too heavy. Carrying them back and forth gets my hips hurting pretty quickly. There's a room behind the laundry room where clean clothes are meant to be kept. Far in the back with a small corridor and a tiny window up in the wall. So this is what the nocturnal emissions on my underwear business was about. I get it now.
ああ、ここに手下がいればいくらでも工作ができる。
All they had to do was wipe my ejaculate from my underwear. See, there was none to get the guards on my case.
一本抜かれて一本取られたということか。
Indeed. If my tormentors can manipulate the guards at will, I'll have to be even more careful. But I want to keep safe anyway.
何がそういうことだですか
I turn around to see Drone Girl standing with a large basket.
誰かと喋っていたようですが人がいるんですか
Wait, he literally talks a lot. I thought he only talks in his brain. I was just talking to myself. She always seems to keep her lips pursed. She brushes away 2 hightails. She brushes away to her 2 hightails, places the laundry basket down, and turns to me after a short pause.
助けてくれと頼んだ覚えはありませんが
Hmm?
あの時のことです私は助けてほしいなどと一言も言っていませんが
Oh, when she was being bullied. He did not.
だったらお前なぜあんなことをしたんです
She sounds less invested in any answer I have. It was like a compulsion, I think. Pride, you could say.
プライド
I couldn't not do it, is all.
自己満足ということですか
Right. We aren't friends or comrades. I don't need to speak on my heart any further. Besides, I'm not in a mental state where I can trust others too easily. I mean, considering the most recent event, even if this is Drone Girl, you know, you can't be too careful.
であれば私が気にすることはありませんね
We may be in the same boat, but there's no need to join hands. We can just suffer alone.
全裸マンさん掃除婦としてこの洗濯済みのものを配ってきてほしくて
A custodian in the prison? A custodian in the prison is just a laundry delivery man, essentially. The front of each cell has the prisoner's number written on the plate. So you go in and put their folded clothes with the matching number on the bed. This entails, of course, moving throughout the facility. Custodian is apparently one of the few roles that lets you move freely throughout the prison on the job. There's another thing Hanamaru Rin taught me.
量が多いから大変でごめんなさいなんですけど、ドローンガールさんと2人がいいと。
We aren't allowed to enter the cells of the opposite sex. Civilian work as male-female pairs. That's tough, demanding physical labor, but I'm in no position to refuse. Understood. I'm wondering if the gang that's bullying them right now is, of course they're bullying them because they don't like them because they're bored and all. But what if they're trying to bully them just to pressure them so they get someone who could work for them? I mean, look at this. They're in the laundry room. They talked about like the corridor where you can plant some fucking you can plant fake evidence or some shit. And if they need an inside guy, they need someone who's obedient, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know.
これが合言葉です。
He hands me a piece of paper. Izmenao?
掃除婦であることのパスワードです。これがないと他の囚人が勝手に歩き回れちゃうので、1日1回先生から紙をもらって。
Drone girl and I head for the cells, large basket in tow. We don't speak much on the way, with the exception of one brief exchange. What's the matter?
いいえ、なんでも。
That was it. We aren't friends. We had nothing to talk about.
某の入り口に着きましたよ。どうすればいいんです？
The entrance to the underground cells was located in the cafeteria. The door is closed tight, except when the prisoners go in and out in mass. We see the password apparently. I pull out the paper to make sure. Under the strange password of Ginmenao are some written instructions. Say it slowly so it's easier to understand, as loudly as clearly as possible. Ginmenao. Saying out loud, I realize what it sounds like. Ginmenao. Kiss me now. Oh, fuck! They were planted. It's a trap.
誰だ？どこからか接近をねだる物欲しそうな声が聞こえてきた。警備隊、スタンバっておけ。
I hear Officer Yamagishi and the sound of multiple letter boots scattering.
何をしているんですか？逃げますよ。ここにいては誤解を解く時間も与えられません。お前、今捕まったら現行犯も同じですよ。
Wait, we had to hide the laundry basket before that. We push the basket into the supplies where it won't stand out too much and get running.
こちらから音がしたはずだというのに。監視と、おい小林。くそ、またサボってるのかあいつは。
The voice and footsteps get closer and closer. I recognize this path as one I've been down before.
どこに逃げたら。
This way. We dive into the shadow of an old building near the sea. I calm my racing heart and close my eyes, forcing clarity into my ears.
山岸監視が欲求不満でそう聞こえたんじゃありませんか？
Their voices grow farther and farther away.
どうやら言ったよ。
Yeah. If a guard or a security team had caught us well, it'll go like this. Or maybe this. In other words, this was a setup. Mind explaining? We found Crappy Mori organizing the clean clothes in the back of the laundry room. I'm much too angry to care. Crappy Mori is from the Osinity ward. You would expect her to be on our side. No, obviously she's one of those people being bullied, obviously. I've got even more trauma around kissing now, and it's all your fault. So, you sold us a fellow dandelions.
露出して興奮するような頭のおかしい人と一緒にはしてほしくないというか。 変態じゃないのに投獄されたんですか？私は騙されて未成年とセックスしたので嘘つかれたから。
Oh man, that sucks. Didn't know he was younger than you?
そうです。知りませんでした。
But I feel like she's let's see how this goes. Really?
私は騙されて
Is that really what happened?
わからなかったから途
So,
中から気づいてました。
Baldy and trash.
エナメルバッグ担いでたから。それは最初から気づいた方がいいですよ。お願いされたからエッチさせてあげたのに。確かに無理に仲出しさせた私も悪いですけど、ビビって親に言ったりするから児童売春で。年下の男って責任能力ないからすぐ女のせいにするじゃないですか。だから一人でも多く虚勢した方がいいんです。
Oh. 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 I think that's, yeah. I can see why she's in prison now.
だから私たちも虚勢されればよいと。
It strikes me. Prepamori and maybe most of the workers in the laundry room are in Hanamaru's group pocket.
なんか面白くなってきた。そうです。私は正しいことをしてるんですよ。だから先生にも怒られないんです。
Man, she's so mind broken, man. They had the power over this workplace. In other words, they set this whole thing up from their first step. Would you feel guilty at all?
私は知らないので何もしてないから。そうだ、私悪くないんだ。
What's wrong? What's worse? Prison won't hesitate to sabotage one another and tear each other down.
二人ともまだお仕事が終わってませんよ。早く掃除婦の仕事をしてください。
If she doesn't feel bad about it, there's nothing I can do.
今度はカゴを持って帰ってきてくださいね。
I just need to endure. It won't last forever. By the way, I'm just gonna finish this day and I have to leave. Like what Shuichiro mentioned earlier. Need some sleep. I need that. Anyway, the intense manual labor has left my arms swollen and hot. I wonder if this will happen less if I build muscle. 5, 7. Evening break has ended, and most of the prisoners have gathered in the cafeteria. The guards changing shifts right before, creating a short opening right before dinner. For 3 minutes, prisoners rule a guardless space.
はい、皆さん、ちょっとご注目ください。
Alright, welcome back to the bully simulator, guys. Right then, this distressingly clear voice echoes throughout the room. Give me a second. Alright, let's go. We're gonna get fucked here, man.
こいつを見てくれよ。この洗ったばかりなのにお物まみれになった俺たちの服を。さあ。
Ozawa, the mad dog of Hatae, kicks the laundry basket from his cart. Out tumble prison clothes, sullied in brown and yellow, flashing liquid as they fall.
さっきクリーニング工場の連中が泣き出してたんだぜ。ちゃんときれいに洗濯したはずの服が気づいたらこんなに汚れてたってさ。
そしてその洗濯物を運んでいたのはこの男だけなんですよ。
All eyes gather on me.
ひどい。僕の服が精液と愛液となんか謎の液体まみれになってる。
こんなにぶっかけられたら俺たち明日から何着ればいいんだよ。
Clothing is a practical problem, one that everyone has to deal with from tomorrow on. When dealing with such an essential issue, anyone would overreact.
てめえらいつまで人事みたいな顔してんだ。 立てよ早くよ。
Grown girl and I stand up. The prisoners sitting next to us all pull back.
手違いで服が汚れることなんてありますか？仮にあったとしてなんですぐに言わないで黙ってたんでしょう。
そうだよな。すぐに言えば就業時間前に洗い直しだってできたのにな。
Eyes of disgust and indignation are on us. I can feel the stress of the room coalescing our way.
マジかよ。もう疲れてるのに服もないとか勘弁しろよ。
あいつってあれだろ。前に独房の中で脱法排便をファックしてたって看守に目をつけられてた。
Now we're made enemies not only of the other cell wards, but of our fellow dandelions as well.
もしかしてあなたたちさ、自分が露出したいからって全ての服をダメにしたんじゃありませんか？
ふざけんなよ。こっちは露出狂の趣味なんざに付き合ってる余裕ねえのによ。
そんなにチンポとマンコ出したいなら一人で出せばいいじゃないの。
どう落とし前つけてくれるんだよ、クソダサチンポ丸出し男が。ああ、
しもへいへい。
The rage starts small, but grows into a wave of insults.
お前らいつまで済ました顔してんだよ。一物見せびらかすのと盗撮が趣味なくせに開き直ってんじゃねえぞ。
震えてブルっちまいそうなくせによ。脱ぐのは好きなのに、あそこはタートルネック着込んでるんじゃねえのか？
Wait, how come that voice actor sounds familiar? I don't know. Anyway,
汚れた服は僕が一肌脱いで何とかしますってか？脱ぐのは服だけにしろよ。見せびらかしチンポ野郎。
more and more hostility focuses on us.
みんなの服が汚れてるのに自分だけ綺麗な服を着てるってどういうことなんですかね？
Really? I thought that was fine. That all this was fine.
そうだ。二人して全裸で全員に謝罪するのが筋なんじゃねえのかよ。
Man, oh man, the bullying simulator. Shit. If I don't worry about it, don't focus on it, the insults, hostility, and eventually,
脱げ脱げ
if this is my punishment, I'll take it. Or so I thought. Taking on my clothes isn't some sicko act. It's not for my own sexual gratification. Simply enduring is easy to do.
なんですって？
It's something I'm no stranger to, after all. Still, there are two things even I can't simply take in stride. Exhibition isn't simply about exposing your neater regions. First is people mocking my friends. You had to mold a body to show off, arrange the situation, and calculate the perfect timing to strip off your garments. It's with all three in concert that expression is born. Before I continue, when I asked a friend how they thought about hentai prison, they described it as, bro, it's like reading Sakura no Ota, but in prison. What? I don't know. Let's continue. Exhibition, then, is a synthesis of arts. It is fundamentally different from the pretend games played by those who boast about how much they've hurt others. And the second is people mocking the naked body. I take pride in the act of stripping my clothes. Exhibition exists because clothes do. I am not so shallow as to find any value in forcing nudity on others by depriving them of clothes either. To do so would be to commit blasphemy against the act of exposure. Deny all that I am. Me? I strip. Therefore I am.
適当言ってごまかすなよ。
this shit's so keto, man. By stripping my clothes, I can recognize my own existence.
チンポ見せて喜んでるくせに。
I can feel truly alive.
裸でカッコつけてんじゃねえよ。
To me, this is expression. Nudity is self-expression. This is keto. I strip my clothes to express who I am. I will continue to strip.
ただの露出狂の分際で。
You have no right! Not one of you can mock my exhibition. Exhibition. Rune grows quiet. The one who put me in this mess. Saved me once, too. I've been planning to go on enduring in silence. I look around, letting my eyes slowly wander. And if that were the end of it, then yes, I would have been the sandbag you needed. If that would make the troubles pass, I would suffer alone. Yet, you just mock the act of exhibitionism itself. I don't care who you are. You insult the naked body, I will show no mercy. I will wring you out like braids in the washing machine. I will bring the hammer down. I will push you to the depths of hell and make you feel regret like never before. You're going to scoff at the act of stripping. Going to laugh at the act of exhibitionism. I will bury you.
やれやれ。山岸刑務官は話がなんだ。おい、何事だこれは。
I like how she puts her cap back.
0720番、なぜこんな場所で全裸になっている？特別警備隊、その男を拘束しろ。
なぜ？
The masked security team members slam me to the ground and twist my arms.
またお前か。いつも問題事ばかり起こして、さっさと連れて行け。
They take me away with my hands behind my back. I drag along the ground, but I don't look away until the very last moment. I keep on glaring at them. That was kind of badass, even though it's kind of fucked.
私たち変態がただのごっこ遊びですって。1000万以上小便をかけた私が。
俺たちを舐め腐りやがって露出チンポポの分際でよ。
けどなんか独特な雰囲気がありやがったな。なんかこうつい黙っちまうっつうか。ねえ、花丸さん。
Wow, I'm surprised Ozawa took it like that. He wasn't angry. He was more like, what? That's so interesting. That's an interesting reaction. I was thinking he would be like super angry or some shit.
はあ、関係ありませんが、そんなこと。
サンドバッグになってやっていたですって。この花丸凛に鼻血だった分際でこの生意気なこと。
Yeah, this is the kind of reaction I was expecting.
この私にバカな口を聞いたことを後悔させてあげますよ。
All right. Well, so much for me. I was supposed to end it here, but I was like, this shit got started, man. Okay, I could probably do 30 more minutes at most. Okay. Otherwise, I'm really gonna be sleep deprived for work. Fuck. Several days have passed, but the bullying continues.
全裸マン、おい全裸マン、おめえ何ちったら仕事してんだ。とっととこのキャスター10台向こうの倉庫に置いてこい。
I'm given far more work in a day than I can possibly complete. Meanwhile, other people are sitting in chairs and yawning.
夕食に山芋のすりおろしが出た次の日なのに射精していない囚人がいる。妙だな。
おい風、はーい、忙しい。早いとこみんなで終わらせようぜ。
When the guard on duty shows her face, though, the whole room snaps into pretending to work.
それにしても連中の目的が変わってきたようだな。
Yeah, they got it more aggressive. Since that dinner, they messed with me directly a lot more. Once I returned to my cell to find my sheets had been changed to a rougher set. The stiff kinds you find at a hotel. I got under the sheet, not really minding. Shock awaited me. The rough feel of the sheets tickled my nipples. Went through my suit. The sheet's heavy petting made blood rush to my crotch. I couldn't control my erection. The house of an erection in Tula prison is to die. The guards already had their eyes on me since the wet dream incident. I was told they'd come running my way again, the slightest hint of trouble. If they even had the smallest idea I was engaged in something sexual, merciless punishment would be sure to follow. I heard a whisper from a cell somewhere. It might have been a hallucination, but I heard what I heard. You're boning more ways than one, pal. The fear that I could be caught at any moment crept up on me. It was something I never experienced before in my life. The night I slept with that erection felt very, very long.
だが普通にやり返せば君が不利だ、修一郎。数の暴力にはかなわない。
Still, I can't ask the guards for help.
そんなはずないだろう。0545番や0333番は優等受刑者だ。お前のような問題児と違って問題を起こす可能性は低い。
Not every prisoner is trusted equally.
中でも0858番は優秀な一等者囚人だ。虚偽の申告などするはずがない。
The guards would not listen to me defend myself.
次に少しでも変態騒ぎを起こしてみろ。
They looked right at me, bags under her eyes, and spoke.
神に誓って関係者全員を懲罰棒にぶち込んでやるからな。
一人では対応するのは難しいだろうな、修一郎。
Yeah, can easily fool the guards. They're so sharp, they can tell our prisoner numbers, even if all they see is our back. I put a hand to my lip. I think back to that scene in the paper room. All Captain Shikolenko should have been able to see was my back. Yet she stopped me by calling me by my number. There are plenty of prisoners about the same height as me, and most of the faculty population has shaved heads too. Why then could you tell it was me? That is very interesting. That means she has a... It's very weird if she's able to recognize him compared to everyone who looks kind of like him from the back. That kind of makes you think. Sewing and mending clothes are done in the laundry room. Working my needle while this tired is a prodigious task.
次はパンツチェックです。この400枚あと1時間で終わらせてくださいね。
I looked up to see Drone Girl, adorned with a large bruise. Rumor has it that an out-of-place crossword puzzle was in her cell. She looked at it with suspicion, of course, but it was a lonely night. She couldn't beat temptation. It was a trap. She saw problem after problem and wrote word after word. Then a fatal solution came. Omanko. The word that must not be said in the facility. Manko. It's just Manko. I don't know why I had to. It seems like she was punished for writing a crossword in her journal. Their attacks are refined and cruel. One can't even feel safe in their own cell. A solid leader of pussy juice from the tsunami town. A prisoner who drowned her partner while sitting on his face drips onto Drone Girl's lap. She endures it without complaint, diligently checking each pair of underwear. I can read no emotion from her face. Here. I strip off my clothes and hand them to her.
どういう意味です？
I'm an exhibitionist. I don't mind getting wet. Even if the wetness revealed my crotch, I could go on working without paying it mind. You can wear it until yours dries off. No one will be able to tell through your jacket. We aren't officially allies or anything like that.
不正交換に当たりますよ。処罰対象です。
It's natural for her to suspect this is a trap. In that case, how about we do this? I tear up the big prisoner number in the chest of this.
何を？
If we exchange suits, let's sew our original numbers back onto them. No one will be any the wiser. What? You know, when they look at their suits, they look like they're painted on. They're not like... Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because of the art style. She seems more interested in the needle in my hand, however. Drone Girl blinks and blinks again, as if mulling over something. She lets out a quiet breath when she notices my eyes on her.
奇特な人ですね。
What do you mean?
しかし、爪は甘いようです。
What do you mean?
ほら、裏のワッペンを外していません。これでは看守にバレます。
She turns the suit inside out and shows me the back. Oh, that might answer his question. There, I noticed a small crest with my prisoner number soon onto it, near the butt of my suit. I never noticed.
私は体液のチェックばかりしていました。この辺りに縫い付けてあると。
I can't imagine many have noticed the same thing. It must be designed this way so that prisoners can tell who prisoners are from behind. That should answer his earlier question. So that's how Captain Shikolenko identified me. We head for the cell wards again. They have us hauling and passing out the laundry to the cells. I like how that whole thing is just a red herring, as if like it was supposed to mean something, but then later in the scene they just like, oh, they just didn't notice this thing. And I'm like, okay. As we push the plastic boards meant to divide the clothes in the basket, we likely have the same thing in mind. They probably won't come at us with the exact same method, but there's no telling when they'll try to bait us into doing something perverse and getting punished. The thought of it keeps me tense. Drone Girl crouches down again and looks at something.
このままだといずれ私たちは死にますね。
She's terse.
今回のような手段で罠を仕掛けられ続ければ、いずれは懲罰棒にぶち込まれてしまうということです。
The guards are keeping a particular eye on us. If we slip up and say something even the slightest bit pervy, punishment is sure to follow. I don't like sports, but to borrow a term, we have a yellow card.
この攻撃をドスケベ攻撃と定義したとして。
Perv attack.
しかし、これには不自然なことが一つあります。
Drone Girl shifts her pupils in my direction.
あいつらはなぜ監視の目をかいくぐれるかということです。
I was thinking the same thing. It doesn't make sense that they haven't been caught, considering everything that they've done to us.
先ほどの件もどこかで看守が見ていれば紙を読み上げていたのはわかるはずです。であれば書いた人間が罰を受けることになる。つまりあの場所であれば監視は声を聞くだけだと分かっていたはずなんです。
Going into someone's cell is also a code of conduct violation if you're caught. How could they do all of this? What was their secret? There's only one answer then. Magic. Alright, we're back to Umedaka, holy shit.
何ですかそれ。お前めちゃバカと言っても過言じゃありませんね。普通に考えれば何かしらで刑務官の目をごまかしているということですね。
Pull the wool over their eyes. They need to know where those eyes were to pull any fabric over them. Wait, security cameras.
その可能性が高いですね。
The guards know exactly what we're doing, no matter where we are. It's likely that there are security cameras all over the prison. But the network isn't perfect. There are some blind spots or some cameras that don't work.
ええ、つまりここで話すのは得策じゃありません。移動しましょう。
We go back behind the building we went some time before. They know exactly where the guards can and can't see. We must have raised our voices in a visually dead zone, or else the trap of theirs would never have worked.
私たちは自分の身を守る必要があります。
Which means there can't be a camera here. If we figure out where all the blind spots are, our tormentors won't be able to threaten us anymore.
だからこの監視カメラの位置、すべてを把握しなくてはならない。
We'll just need to avoid these spots to be safe. Easy. How are we going to do that?
簡単です。目星をつけ、例えばキスをしても来なければ、そこは死角です。
Bro, that is super risky. Holy shit. God damn, brilliant.
でしょ?
We will conduct experiments from spot to spot. If the guards don't come running, we'll know that spot is clear. Wait, that still sounds like... Bro, you're... I don't know, man. That sounds like a dumb idea. I mean, the risk involved, because, you know... It has its risks, but the rewards are massive. Yeah, I guess.
何ですか? 私のシンプルかつ有用な計画が気に入らないと?
It's a good plan, I just don't want to do any kissing.
なぜです？
No good memories of it. This is the very spot I was to have my first kiss. It didn't happen. I got traumatized instead. That's why kissing is a trauma to me.
何決め顔でめちゃかっこ悪いこと言ってるんですかお前。
I think to myself, I'll live with this trauma for the rest of my life.
ねえお前、さっきの紙の言葉をもう一度言ってみてください。
Why?
いいから。
Ease me out.
はい。
A soft scent assails my nostrils. Grown girl is before my eyes as close as can be. I see her red, soft-looking lips. For some reason, though, a hard, stiff sensation accompanies the warmth she brings.
カゴに入っていたペラ版です。私も初めてがこれでは嫌なんで。でも雰囲気くらいは出たでしょ。これで良い方の思い出になりましたか？
I do. I think to myself, I'll live with this memory for the rest of my life. Don't tell me you have a thing for.
そんなわけないでしょ。お前やっぱりめちゃアホですね。だいたい初中なんて甘酸っぱいもんでしょ。よく知りませんけど、トラウマなんてめちゃくだらないと言っても過言ではありませんよ。
Oh wait. Every time we do this experiment,
疑似中をするということになりますが。
let's fucking go. I'm all in. I think to myself.
あとはお互いが信頼できるかですが、私たちは利害関係が一致しているので、信用はできずとも信頼はできると思います。どうですか？
Got it. Grown girl blinks in surprise when I answer. What's wrong?
いいえ、私はその方が簡単で良いのですが、あれだけ裏切りを食らった後でよく協力できるなと。
It's an efficient plan. I like things that are efficient and effective. I don't want to get abused anymore either. What better way to find someone in the same situation and form a temporary alliance? That's the most efficient thing I can think of.
効率的ですか。私の好きな言葉です。
Grown girl grins. It's the first time I've seen her smile.
では改めて、私の名前は紅林ノア。短い間でしょうが、どうぞよろしく。
My name is Minato Yoichiro. Like Kochirakoso, let's keep it brief. We share a solid handshake. Ooh, not bad. We go on to do more fake kisses in search of security cameras. Wait, I'll be right back. But man, I like the pacing of this shit, man, and the how it flows. All right, I'm back. Let's go. All right, I can't remember if I read this. So we go on to do more fake kisses in search of the security cameras.
君たちはいつまでここで作業してるんですか？洗濯物配ってきてくださいね。早くしてくださいね。
When we were lucky, nothing happened. When we were unlucky, we got punished.
おい貴様たち、こんなところに男女が2人、距離が近かったんじゃないのか？
Instafall. The guards have it out for us. They show up quickly.
0720番から目にゴミが入ったから見てほしいと言われて見てました。0720番自体がゴミでした。
ならばよし。
I mean, they have to, you know, the rapid response times work in our favor. Each time they come running, I jot down the location and share with Kurebayashi as a place to avoid. Bastards back in the laundry room who sent us off with smiles look shocked to see us come back without a scratch on us.
それでは行きますよ。
Got it.
3、2、1。
We slowly pull our wounds away.
来ますよ。今日はごまかすのお前の番ですからね。
Hi.
さまら、顔を近づけて何をしていた？
Even when the guards come running, we work together to survive. The idea of the loophole bang gave us our key hint. In a sumari, if we could stab some sort of other justification for our actions, we would be excused. Ma'am, 0721 passed gas. I was pushing our faces against this plastic board to hold our breath.
0721番。三角コーナーのような放棄をするやつな。
Oh, I just realized she's literally the number next to him.
性的なことではないからいいが、もう少し内臓を気遣った方がいいぞ。
I put away the laundry filter, incredibly stinky that I prepared. That was a close one.
私のおなら臭くありませんから。
Every day is a tight rope.
臭くありませんから。
I figure one could call us a perfect team. I like this shit.
あとお前、キスするときになんで目を開けているんですか？なんか生理的にめちゃ無理と言っても過言ではありません。ともかく、ここは監視カメラの範囲内ということですね。書き加えておきましょう。
I still like that excuse, that bullshit excuse, and how she reacted to it. She jots down the general area on the scrap of paper. With all these notes, we've been getting hit by perv attacks less and less. There's still danger zones we haven't identified yet, though.
これが完成するのが先か、懲罰棒に入れられるのが先か、それとも直接的な攻撃になるのが先か。
There's still a minefield out there. We just don't know how big it is. Is this hard on you?
それほどでも、この程度のことは想定済みです。この工場にいることは自らの意思ですから。
Huh? Kurebayashi crouches down again. He seems to be doing something, but I can't tell past the basket.
そろそろこちら側からも打って出たいところですね。持久戦にも限界がある。
Wait. Is there a way to remove the text? I want to screenshot shit, man. There isn't a way to. Yeah, I don't see an X button. Yeah, I think it's a stylistic choice. I need a thumbnail, but this is how it's going to be. Whatever. And I'm just gonna like auto-generate this shit. Even if we finish our map, they may have a second or third trick up their sleeves. We can't play defense forever. We can't outfight them. There's two of us and lots of them. We're surrounded by hostiles and no one will help us. No one expects a neutral party to intervene. If we're using anyone, it has to be the guards. The correctional officers won't want to take sides on any more than they have to. They catch someone violating the code of conduct in the act, they won't listen to excuses.
つまり状況を打開するためには、私たちが連中に全く手を出さず、そして奴らが言い逃れできない状況を作る必要がある。
Yeah,
ということですか。
Yeah, kind of like what Yamagishi did in the when she quote unquote save Suichiro. Exactly, or at least make it look airtight to the guards. Can't afford to rest on our laurels. We need to expose their evil doing, lay it bare. The question then is, how? They're slick, wily. They know a lot about this place. They have plenty of friends, underhanded knowledge, legal loopholes, and the trust of the guards. Not much one can have in Tulip Prison, and they have most of it. By comparison, we have nothing. Nothing but these freshly laundered prison clothes. Huh?
どうかしましたか？
Clothes.
何が？
We stripped them off.
だから何がですってば。
We don't have anything but the clothes in the laundry room. Yet with a change of point of view, we command an arsenal. In that case, we just need to get them naked. We'll enforce our ownership and deny them access. The laundry room is another workstation that has evening breaks. We get a break from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, solidly before dinner. I'm out on a walk with no particular destination in mind. It's strange, really. My heart feels just a bit lighter. I head out to the yard today. Sea breeze is chilly, but pleasant on my skin. The sun's about to set. I find twilight to be beautiful wherever I am. The light I see, however, immediately gives way to pitch blackness. I grab, arm bound from behind.
おい、とっとと押さえつけろ。絶対に動けないようにな。
They slam my face to the ground. I lose my sense of equilibrium and feel a slight sense of nausea coming on.
血が来ないように見張り一人立てとけよ。おいクソモリ、そっち見張っとけ。
はい猿グツワも忘れないようにしてくださいよ。悲鳴が外に漏れないようにね。もしもーし、聞こえますか？突然でびっくりしました。
Man, our guy sucks. Wasn't he thinking about like during that he stays in spots where guards will always come down and all find and plot needs to happen? Well, okay, we the story kind of established he's a little dumbass, so I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Anna Marin.
優しくしてくれたお姉さんに悪さするクソガキにはお仕置きをしなくちゃいけませんね。
A prickling pain assails me. I can't see a thing. I have no idea what is happening to me.
あら、怖いでちゅね。全身チクチクされて、次はどこを刺されるのかわからないからビビっちゃいまちゅね。
さあ、次は背中かな？太ももかな？それとも腹か？顔だったりしてな。
Each individual prick isn't much in the way of pain. Whatever they're hitting me with, it's a lot smaller than a medicinal needle.
プスプスプスプスプスプスプス。
I wonder if it's a syringe with like, I don't know. Yet all there is fear. The horror of being unable to brace myself for where they will strike next.
さてお次はプス白いと見せかけてお尻にプス。
Yeah! Pain runs out from my rear as I let out a cry.
助けをこうてもここには誰も来てくれませんよ。我々が呼びにでも行かない限りね。
Oh, we're in a blind spot then. Another step of progress on our hope map. Okay, that kind of works. How many more were there left anyway?
さてお次はこんなところなんていかがですかね。
Someone reaches forward to reach for my cock.
知っていましたか？おちんちんって骨折するんですよ。正確には陰茎切傷と言いましてね、海綿体から血が出血してぶっくら腫れて、それは痛いそうですよ。
My scrotum feels like it's taken to the air. If it gets snapped, I'd... No, he'd... Yeah!
珍しい反応をするじゃありませんか。ますます楽しくなっちゃいますよ。
What's with the full view, by the way?
花丸さん、さすがにそれは。
はあ、同じ一物を持つ者として同情してるんですか？金玉つきは情けないですね。
前に食堂で吐いてくれたクソみたいな暴言ね。あれ俺たちとっても傷ついたんだよ。
でも私たちはクソガキと違って心に余裕があるから。
全員に土下座をして二度と逆らわないと誓うのであれば、こいつを刺すのやめてあげてもいいでしょう。
おい、てめえ、早いところ謝った方が。
Man, Oza was being... Well, I guess it's a... Yeah. Their last echo down the hall. The bouncing sound carries with it the hostility of the prison, and I'm stuck in its spiral.
なんとか家がダサ坊がよ。
まあ猿グツは取ってなかったんだ。すっかり忘れてた。ごめんね。
My soul would have been crushed if I were all alone.
さあ、これで喋れるでしょう。 楽しい言葉が聞けるはずですから、皆さんご清聴。露出狂らしく全裸で許しをこいなさいだ。
I refuse. But I'm not alone. I'll not allow myself to be controlled by any other. Not even God can hold my reins. I am me. I am me and I'm not alone. Because I'm made by myself.
こいつはこの後に及んでよ。
I pity you sickos. I really do. You can't even make a slave of this exhibitionist freak.
生意気なことは言ってんじゃないんですよ。
They don't end up needling my cock. Instead, my face swells to many times its size with bruises. Lots of them. Well, that worked. I mean, probably better than having your cock fractured, man. That night, Katya Shikolenko takes me off to a certain room, absolutely baffled at the sorry state of my face. A room that smells of medicine.
お、来た来た来たわね。やんちゃ坊主がやってきたわ。
Such are the first words of the willowy woman in the white lab coat. The room is a bit more impressive than a school infirmary, but a touch less equipped than a hospital room. Figured this is what the doctor's office in the small town clinics must look like.
自己紹介させてください。私はチューリッププリズンの専属医師とカウンセラーをしています。医務課所属、矯正医官の樋口恵理子です。よろしくね。
こちらこそ。
君の名前は？
Number 0720. He laughs out my standard greeting.
ここはプリズン内だけど、一応刑務所じゃないってことになってるんだよ。だから私にはそんな挨拶しなくていいからね。この医務棟では囚人も看守も全部が平等。喋ったことは絶対にプリズン側には漏らさない。そういう約束になってるの。
Equal?
そう。だからプリズンの中立地帯なんて言われてさ、普通のことなのにね。
This is the first time I've been in the medical ward. The first floor has evenly spaced beds and seems to be mainly for seriously injured. I'm on the second floor, which is the counseling room.
そういう約束で赴任しているのでございますよ。先生はお医者さんとしての4原則を守らなきゃいけないからね。
Huh?
簡単に言うと、患者のためにならないことは絶対にしないようにしましょう。
She narrows her uniquely shaped eyes and laughs.
囚人の友達とかからここのことを聞いたことなかったの？
No, I don't have any friends.
そっかそっか。そういうこともあるね。
Prisoners are take their counseling at 8 o'clock at night. The space between appointments is irregular, but they can announce during roll calls. A few prisoners are taken off to the med ward.
本当は君のカウンセリングは来週だったんだけど、ソーニャさんからここのところずーっとぼっこり顔を張らせてる懲役がいるからって。
You mean someone tattled?
そういうことじゃないよ。まあとりあえず治療の方を先にやっちゃいましょう。
Nowhere.
泡技作っといてよく言えるもんだ。どうしたのこれ？
I'm trying to finish something I'm working on.
喧嘩なんて毎日してたら疲れちゃうでしょ？
I didn't get these from fighting. I just fell down the stairs.
そっかそっか。じゃあ表のだけ当てときましょうか。
She hands me a big bag filled with ice. Then she places her tablet on her lap, sits in the chair in front of me.
君の名前教えてくれる？
Minato Shoichiro.
じゃあ湊修一郎さん。修一郎さんって呼んでいい？
Go ahead.
私のことは好きに呼んでいいからね。樋口さんとかエリコちゃんとか。ああ、エリーさんでもよし。
What I like?
そう。中には娘と同じ年だから娘さんと同じ名前で呼ぶ人もいるよ。名前はプライバシーだから言えないけど。あら、どうしたのかな？何か気に障ることでもあった？
The last person who talked to me so warmly ended up hurting me a lot. This way, Higuchi Eriko talks The way this Higuchi Eriko talks sort of reminds me of Hanamaru Rin. What the hell's going on with me? Maybe I'm at my limit. Anyway, that's probably why I feel a natural aversion to her. By the way, I think I'm gonna end after this scene. I think I'm already at time anyway. Way out of time. I never felt this way about a person I've just met before, so enjoying the novelty.
でもそれはその人が私の喋り方を真似したんじゃないかな。
For a manipulator, it kind of makes sense. They learn how to act like a counselor or some shit.
まあなんだ。つまりここにいる時は囚人じゃないからリラックスした君と話がしたいのね。呼び方以外にも君が一番自然だと思う状態になってくれたらそれが一番いいとお姉さんは思うわけですよ。
I strip out my clothes. At my most natural. Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. This guy's an exhibitionist. Remember? I sit back down, fully nude. Should I be clothed? I'm not trying to test her or anything, but I pay very close attention to her reaction.
そのままでいい。それが君にとって大切ならそれが一番よろしい。
To my surprise, she simply shakes her head and smiles. Are you sure?
もちろんよ。つまり君にとって全裸になるという行為はとても大事な何かがその心の中にあるってことだもんね。
Her voice is strangely warm.
でもね、いきなり脱ぐと驚くぞ。拙者もレディの端くれなんだから気を使えよお主。
She softly grinds her fist on my head. It feels strangely nostalgic. I find myself wanting to call her Higuchi-sensei.
それでカウンセリングだけどって言っても大したことする感じじゃなくてね。こうして心拍数とかを測ってちょっとお話しするだけなのさ。
She sticks a few stickers with cables attached to them onto me. There are 10 in all. They're connected to the machine to the right of her and send regular rough signals to its monitor. Cardiogram.
そうですよ。見たことある？
Wow, a real one. Never seen one before. I feel excited since I only seen one on TV.
そうかい、珍しいかい。の割にはあんまり心拍数は変わらないな。
It hasn't?
君は他の人よりずいぶんゆっくりで落ち着いてる性格なのかもしれないね。
I never thought about my heart rate before, so this is a first. More importantly, I finally noticed that the sticker was touching my wound.
おや、どうしたい？もしかして痛む？
Just a little.
ほら、男の子はすぐ強がるからな。やんなっちゃうね。どれどれ。
It clutches a cotton ball with a pair of tweezers and uses it to rub disinfectant over my chest.
こりゃ思いっきりやられたね。普通だったらすぐにイム島へ飛び込んでくる怪我ですよ、これ。この傷のつき方は他人から。しかも大人数から負わされたものだね。
You can tell?
全身見ればすぐにわかるよ。私は先生だぞ。ね、修一郎さん。
She speaks with an air of casualness. She types on the small, thin keyboard on her desk.
先生にならこの暴行をやめさせることできるかもしれないけど。
I'm fine. The casualness of her expression is unchanging as she stands up and puts away the medicine.
このプリズンでいじめの死者が出たことはないけど、大怪我した人はいくらだっているんだよ。
Is that so?
世の中にはさ、ずる賢くて自分の手を汚さず他人を蹴落とそうって考える人がいっぱいいるのだ。そういうものなのだ。
This is a fact I've come to notice. If only through vibes. Vibes alone! Thanks for the word there. Vibes alone.
なるほど。何かこだわる理由があるんだね。
I'd rather not. The odds are great, but I don't want to seek help. Not for this. I want to solve it on my own. It's an issue of pride, basically.
プライド。そっか。プライド。そういうのも大事なね。
She puts her hands together, seeming to find this funny. This looks to be a signal that the consulting is over.
はい。じゃあ最後に、アメちゃんどっちだ？
She She holds out 2 balled fists to me. I picked the right. She opens to reveal a red candy inside.
大正解。いい声のプレゼントは独房に戻る前に食べちゃうことだぞ。
She puts a hand on my head. The 2D grin.
担当医として言っとくのは、なるべく無茶はしないように。それでは、言ってよし。
The candy on my tongue is incredibly sweet. For the first time in a long while, I feel human again. Very nice. Don't worry, Sensei. I make my announcement alongside my thanks. This whole thing is almost over.
あのクソガキ、本当にムカッ腹が立つわね。
Oh shit! I thought it was. This goes scene to scene to scene to scene. I don't even have time to chill. You know what? I'll just. I really have to go. Anyway, that's it for Henpri, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.